How's it going, folks? Welcome to another fun at-home table read. Tonight, we are doing a true classic, one of the best animated movies of the last decade, easily. We're going to jump into Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Let's start introducing ourselves.
I'm Angie. I'm reading action description.
I'm Curtis. I'll be Miles Morales.
I'm Logan. I'm Peter B.
Hi, I'm Johnny B. And I'll be playing Jefferson.
I'm Erik. I'll be playing Uncle Aaron.
I'm Bridget, and I'll be Gwen.
I'm George, and I'll be the Kingpin.
I'm Anne, and I will be Penny Parker.
I'm Travis, and I'm Spider-Ham.
I am Mary, and I will be playing Aunt May and MJ.
Awesome. Well, Angie, take us away.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Screenplay by Phil Lord and Rodney Rotham. Story by Phil Lord. We begin on a comic. The cover asks, who is Spider-Man?
All right, let's do this one last time. My name is Peter Parker.
Quick cuts of a blonde Peter Parker, pulling down his mask, a name tag that reads Peter Parker. Various shots of Spider-Man in action.
See, I was bitten by a radioactive spider, and for about 10 years, I have been the one and only Spider-Man. I'm pretty sure you know the rest.
Uncle Ben tells Peter,
With great power comes great responsibility.
Uncle Ben walks into the beyond.
I saved a bunch of people. I fell in love. I saved the city. And then I saved the city again and again and again.
Spider-Man saves the city, kisses MJ, saves the city some more. The shots evoke iconic Spider-Man images, but each one is subtly different, somehow altered.
And I did this.
Cut to Spider-Man dancing on the street, exactly like the movie Spider-Man 3.
And we don't really talk about this.
A 3-panel split screen, shots of Spider-Man's products.
Look, I'm a comic book, I'm a cereal, I did a Christmas album, I have an excellent theme song, and I'm a so-so popsicle. I mean, I've looked worse.
Match cut, Peter pinned to a wall by a mechanical tentacle arm. Kingpin punches Peter. Green Goblin fights Peter.
But after everything, I still love being Spider-Man. I mean, who wouldn't?
Peter runs toward a super collider, something we'll see quite soon. Peter slammed to the ground.
So no matter how many hits I take, I always find a way to come back.
Peter gets up. In a shot that we will also remember, right before Goblin grabs him. The collider exploding, the force of the blast rippling through New York.
Because the only thing standing between this city and oblivion is me. There's only one Spider-Man, and you're looking at him.
Spider-Man winks. Man, he's cool. Smash cut. Interior Miles' apartment, bedroom. Miles Morales draws homemade street art name tags at a desk, headphones on, singing along to the song he is too young for, Sunflower, but he doesn't quite know the words yet. A photo of a younger Miles with his parents and his Uncle Aaron visible in the background.
Miles! Miles! Time for school!
Miles! Miles! Miles!
Miles whips off his headphones.
Yeah?
Are you finished packing for school?
Yeah, just ironing my last shirt.
Revealed in his empty bag. He is not packed. He's been avoiding it.
Vamos, chacho!
He flies around the room, tossing various items into the suitcase, throwing on a blue uniform jacket, the camera catching other childhood details.
Come on, you're a grown man now. Let's show these teachers that. Come on, let's go.
Miles!
Interior Miles's apartment, living room. Bam, the door flies open. Fast-paced, Miles enters a living room where his parents get ready for the day.
Where's my laptop?
¿Dónde le dejaste?
Yo no sé.
If you want me to drive you to school, we gotta go now.
No, Dad, I'll walk.
Personal chauffeur going once.
Hey.
Ay, María, este nene tiene loca.
Miles grabs food. Mom and Dad frantically cross behind him.
Miles, gotta go.
No minute.
Gotta go.
No minute.
Exterior stoop, morning. Rio smothers an embarrassed Miles with kisses. Miles rolls his eyes, hates it, loves it.
Mom, I gotta go.
In a minute.
Miles rolls his bag down the steps as Rio calls out.
Papa, llámame. See you Friday.
Okay, mommy. Hasta luego.
Interior Brooklyn Street, morning. Miles struggles down the street with a heavy bag, but he's in his element. He walks by his old school, Brooklyn Middle, passes some old friends who he loves and misses.
Oh, look who's back. Yo, what's going on, bro?
Hey, I'm just walking by. How you doing?
Miles, something in Spanish.
The girl que say.
Yo, Miles, did you feel that earthquake last night?
What are you talking about? I slept like a baby last night. How's that new school? So easy.
We miss you, Miles.
You miss me? I still live here. Wait, you miss me?
Time cut. Miles runs down the street, slaps his homemade stickers on some things, ends by slapping a stop sign, making a loud clang. But he trips on a shoelace and falls onto the street. Police lights flash along with a signature whoop whoop.
Oh, come on.
Exterior Brooklyn morning. The police car moves through the neighborhood. Miles is in the back seat. 10:10 Win plays.
Seriously, Dad, walking would have been fine.
Reveal Jefferson driving. Miles's dad is a cop.
You can walk plenty on Saturday when you peel those stickers off.
You saw that? I don't know if that was me, Dad.
And the two on yesterday, Clinton.
Yeah, those are me.
Jefferson stares, shuts down the cheekiness. Miles looks hurt. Jefferson clocks his painted look. It bums Jefferson out. There's an awkwardness between Miles and his dad that's not there with his mom. They drive by a row of hipster coffee shops. Jefferson tries to bridge the gap with Miles, more cheerful.
Oh, look at that, another new coffee shop. See that, Miles?
Totally, yeah.
You see that one? What's that one called?
Foam party?
Foam party. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And people's just lining up. You see that, Miles? Is that a coffee shop or a disco?
Dad, you're old, man.
There are multiple reports of another mysterious seismic event last night. Sources close to Spider-Man say he is looking into the problem.
Jefferson shakes his head, disapproving, turns off the radio.
Spider-Man. I mean, this guy swings in once a day, zip, zap, zop, in his little mask and answers to no one, right?
Yeah, Dad.
And meanwhile, my guys are out there, lives on the line.
School kids run alongside the car, looking at Miles, who slinks down. They bang on the window, teasing Miles. You get arrested?
No masks. We show our faces. That's accountability.
I know these kids.
You know, with great ability comes great accountability.
It's not even how the saying goes, Dad.
It's, you know, I do like a cereal, though. I'll give him that.
Jeff stops the car. The teens reach Miles's window.
Yo, Miles, yo, you get arrested?
Oh my gosh, don't cops run red lights.
Some do. Not your dad.
Exterior New York morning. The car drives up right under the Brooklyn Bridge to a school overlooking Manhattan, which looms across the water. Exterior Visions Academy morning. The car pulls up. Miles sits, not wanting to go in.
Why can't I go back to Brooklyn Middle?
Miles, you've given it 2 weeks. I'm not having this conversation.
I just think that this new school is elitist.
Elitist?
And I'd prefer to be at a normal school among the people.
The people. These are your people.
I'm all here because I won a stupid lottery.
No way. You pass that entry test just like everybody else, okay? You have an opportunity here. You want to blow that, huh? You want to wind up like your uncle?
What's wrong with Uncle Aaron? He's a good guy.
Jefferson flinches, angered, reins it in.
Look, we all make choices in life.
It doesn't feel like I have a choice right now.
You don't.
Tension fills the car. They sit in silence for a beat. Miles gets out of the car and opens the front door to get his bag. Jefferson staring through his rearview mirror.
I love you, Miles.
Yeah, I know, Dad. See you Friday.
Miles shuts the door and walks away. Jefferson watches, bummed at the state of the relationship. He lifts his PA.
You gotta say I love you back.
Dad, are you serious?
I want to hear it.
You want to hear me say
I
it?
love you, Dad.
You're dropping me off.
I love you, Dad.
Look at this place.
I love you.
Dad, I love you.
That's a copy. Tie your shoes, please.
Interior Visions Academy morning. Pan up from untied shoes. Miles clocks them, but defiantly does not tie them. Miles walks through a lobby filled with taller kids in identical blue uniforms, a cutting-edge lab school in a converted industrial building.
I love you, Dad.
In a sea of blue, Miles awkwardly tries to interact like he was on the street, but everyone else is so focused.
Hey, good morning. How you doing? You were short, huh? Oh my gosh, it's embarrassing. We're the same jacket.
Miles's point of view. The uniformed kids just pass by. Miles is discouraged.
Hey,
Yeah?
your shoes untied.
Yeah, I'm aware it's a choice.
And as his shoulders drop, he turns to walk into Interior Visions Academy montage, a math teacher in front of a baffling formula.
Who can solve this for XY?
A logic teacher in front of an elaborate proof.
And that is known as a syllogism.
In jump cuts, Miles walks back and forth across the hallway. Each time he is holding more paper and books in his arms, getting more and more weighed down.
En esta clase se habla castellano.
Tonight, read 2 chapters of Great Expectations.
I'm giving you a take-home quiz on volumetric pressure.
A 5-page essay with your conclusions stressed.
Workers' Party. Take homework. Industrial Revolution. Incapable. An enormous change. Unstoppable.
The montage builds. A multi-paneled flurry. Pre-lap. A bell rings. He runs to the emptying hallways. End montage. Interior Visions Academy classroom day. Students sit in a darkened classroom lit only by a large screen playing a documentary. Countless other possibilities. There could be a universe where I am wearing red or wearing leather pants. The door bursts open. Miles, out of breath, is silhouetted in the doorway. The teacher flips on the lights. Students blink at the bright lights and grumble.
Mr. Morales, moving in the dark. You're late again.
Einstein said time was relative, right? Maybe I'm not late. Maybe you guys are early.
Miles's joke is met with unamused silence, except for a single titter from the new girl.
Sorry, it was just so quiet.
Would you like to keep standing there, or would you like to sit down?
Someone hits the lights. In the dark, Miles awkwardly makes his way to his seat, bangs into the desk in the dark. On screen is a physicist, identified as Director, Alchemix Laboratories. She is the consummate nerd and amped about physics. Our universe is, in fact, one of many parallel universes happening at the exact same time. Thanks to everyone here at Fisk Family Foundation for the Sciences, I will prove they exist when I build my super collider. All I need is $10 billion. Chump change, right? On Miles, he bonks to the desk of the new girl, paying rapt attention, and sits down at the desk beside her. Miles checks out the girl, who catches him looking. Miles looks away, looks back. She's still looking.
I liked your joke.
Really?
I mean, it wasn't funny. That's why I laughed. But it was smart, so I liked it.
I don't think I've seen you before.
Ms. Caleros shushes Miles, cutting him off. Shh. Miles sits, checks out the new girl, but she's again focused on the documentary. Miles is intrigued. Every choice that we make would create countless other possibilities. A what if to infinity. Interior Visions Academy classroom later. Miles stands in front of Miss Callero's desk as she slides a 0 with a 0/100th written on it.
A 0? A few more of those, and you'll probably have to keep me out of here, huh? Maybe I'm just not right for this school.
If a person wearing a blindfold picked the answers on a true or false quiz at random, do you know what score they would get?
50%?
That's right.
Wait.
The only way to get all the answers wrong is to know which answers were right. You're trying to quit, and I'm not going to let you. I'm not assigning you a personal essay, not about physics, but about you and what kind of person you want to be.
Interior dorm room night. Miles stares at his stack of homework. He takes out a legal pad and starts on his Great Expectations paper. He sighs. Frustrated, Miles looks out the window for a beat. Miles smiles. He has a mischievous idea. Exterior Brooklyn night. Miles moves down a street, alive with the nighttime city energy. Once again, the carefree kid he yearns to be. Moving away from the Manhattan skyline and turning into an alley where he sees a light on the top apartment. Interior Uncle Aaron's apartment, night. Uncle Aaron is texting on his couch when he receives a picture text of him texting from 1 second ago. Uncle Aaron looks at his window and sees Miles.
Uncle Aaron! Hey, were you scared?
Miles presses his face up against the window, making a funny face. Time cut. Aaron washes dishes as Miles spars with Aaron's punching bag, not very competently.
You want that?
What's up with school?
Oh, great. Got tons of friends.
You can't tell me it's all that bad there. Smart girls is where it's at. Place must be full of them.
Aaron walks over to the punching bag and holds it for Miles.
There's no one. There's no one.
Aaron walks over to the microwave to get some popcorn.
Yo, I cannot have a nephew of mine on the streets with no game.
Game? There was a new girl, actually. She's kind of into me. You know how it is.
What's her name?
Miles sits on the couch and scribbles in his notebook.
You know, this is where we're laying down on the groundwork right now.
Uncle Aaron reacts, amused by Miles' effort to sound cool.
You know about the shoulder touch?
Of course I do. Tell me anyway.
Tomorrow, find that girl, walk up to her, be like, hey.
Serious, Uncle Aaron?
I'm telling you, man, it's science.
So walk up to her and be like, hey.
No. Like, hey.
Hey.
No, hey.
Hey.
You sure you're my nephew, man?
Miles's phone vibrates.
Is that her?
Miles has a text from Dad. Done with that homework?
I should probably go. Still got a paper to do tonight.
Aaron sees this text and then casually but deliberately changes the subject to Miles's drawings in his notebook.
Yo, you been holding out on me? You throw these up yet?
No, man. No, my dad, I can't.
Aaron stands. He crosses out of frame, Miles getting excited.
Come on, I got a spot you ain't gonna believe.
I can't.
Interior subway car, night. Miles and Aaron make their way out of the subway car and wait for it to clear.
I'm gonna get in so much trouble.
Hey man, tell them your art teacher made you.
Hey, how did you know about this place?
Did an engineering job down here.
Interior subway tunnel, night. Aaron and Miles walk deeper and deeper down the tunnels and approach the electrified floor-to-ceiling fence, rack to an Alchemix private property sign, and other high-security paraphernalia. Someone really wants people to stay out. Aaron expertly climbs a fence, drops down on the other side. Miles climbs the fence. We stay on Aaron as we hear Miles struggle. Finally, Miles lands next to Aaron.
What's up?
Uncle Aaron laughs.
Yeah, man. I knew we were related.
Interior abandoned subway tunnel night. Aaron leads Miles into a huge space, empty walls and spiderwebs as far as the eye can see.
Whoa! Brooklyn! Brooklyn! Brooklyn!
The room is full of beautiful street art. It's a secret spot.
There's a lot of history on these walls.
This is so fresh.
Aaron gestures to a wall that has been recently cleaned and prepped, clearly by Aaron. Aaron smiles, leans down to his bag and unzips it, revealing Krylon spray paint cans. He tosses a can to Miles, presses play on a stereo. Miles smiles and starts painting. Aaron turns over a bench.
Now you're on your own, Miles. Whoa, slow down a little. That's better. That's perfect.
Unbeknownst to them, a faintly glowing spider descends on a web toward the ground and towards the cans.
The real Miles coming out of hiding. Now you can cut that line with another color. That's it.
Will help.
Cut to Miles on Uncle Aaron's shoulders. For a beat afterward, they paint together.
You want drips? Because if you do, that's cool. But if you don't, you got to keep moving.
That's intentional.
Aaron traces Miles' silhouette on the wall.
Wow.
Miles steps back, admiring his work. A striking piece built around Miles' silhouette with nothing painted inside it, a blank. No expectations written above.
Is it too crazy?
No, man. Miles, I see exactly what you're doing here, man.
Miles smiles, so happy to finally be seen.
Yeah. You know, me and your dad used to do this back in the day.
Stop lying.
True. Then he took me on the cop. Then he took on the cop thing, and I don't know. It's a good guy. Just, you know what I'm saying?
Aaron's phone vibrates. He reads a message. A shadow crosses his face.
All right, come on, man. I gotta roll.
Aaron walks out of the tunnel, leaving Miles alone. Miles takes one last look at their painting and takes a picture of it on his phone. There's the spider on the back of Miles's hand. It bites him. We jump into a psychedelic 2D animation, watching the venom make its way into Miles's bloodstream, building until Miles flicks the spider and it falls off his hand.
Miles, let's go.
Miles, hiding the bite, runs to join his uncle. Interior dorm room night. Time lapse as the moon rises. Miles shifts positions. It's a restless sleep. Spider bite faintly glows. Miles starts to sweat. While Miles tosses and turns, his roommate Genk works on his computer, taking a break to read The True Life Tales of Spider-Man comic book. Interior dorm room morning. Miles gets up and puts his pants on. They are too short.
That's weird. My pants shrank.
The words, "that's weird," are visualized on screen. Miles looks up, surprised by the sound of his own Spider-Man voiceover.
I think I hit puberty.
Genk stops typing at his laptop, eyes wide. He quickly resumes his work as the words, "I should have kept that to myself," appear thought bubbled next to Miles. Interior Visions Academy hallway day. Miles walks the halls, awkwardly trying to pull down his pants that are now suddenly too short for him. As he speaks, his thoughts appear in three-dimensional space behind him.
I gotta get new pants. Wait, why is the voice in my head so loud? What?
His strut is interrupted by a high-pitched whine that stops when he bumps into the new girl from physics class.
Whoa, are you okay?
What? Why
are you so sweaty?
It's a puberty thing. I don't know why I said that. I'm not going through puberty. I did, but I'm done. I'm a man. So, you're like new here, right? We got that in common.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Cool. Yeah. I'm Miles.
I'm Wanda.
Wait, your name is Gwanda?
Yes, it's African. I'm South African. No accent though, because I was raised here.
Gwanda continues, though her voice fades away.
Do the shoulder touch now, before she walks away.
In slow motion, Miles's hand heads toward Gwanda's shoulder as she watches its slow, deliberate journey.
Why is it so scary? Am I doing this in slow motion or just feel that way?
I'm kidding. It's Wanda. No G. That's crazy.
The hand lands. Beat.
Hey,
Okay, then. I'll see you around.
oh, see ya.
Miles is mortified. Wanda turns to leave, but is jerked back by Miles.
Sorry. Oh crap.
Hey, can you let go now, please?
I can't let go.
Calm down. It's fine.
Miles is stuck to her. He tries to unstick himself, but it keeps getting worse. Now Wanda's hair is involved.
Miles, let go.
I'm working on it. It's just puberty.
I don't think you know what puberty is. Just relax.
Okay, I have a plan.
Great.
I'm gonna pull really hard.
That's a terrible plan.
1, 2.
Don't do this. 3.
Wanda finally has enough and flips Miles in full view of dozens of students. Miles screams. Pre-lap, an electric razor buzzes. Interior nurse's office later. Miles looks on as his hand is freed from Wanda's hair. Miles's expression tells us that her hair is ravaged, and it is.
Nice to meet you.
She won't even look at him.
Sure. Total pleasure.
Interior Visions Academy hallway continuous. Exiting, Miles balls his hair-covered hands and puts them in his pockets. He walks the halls, mortified.
No one saw. It's okay. No one knows. No one knows. Everyone knows. Everyone knows.
The sentence "everyone knows" appears behind him, giant letters. The period appears like a last like a cannonball.
They're talking about me. They saw everything. He knows. She knows. They know. Wow, she's super tall. Why is he smiling? Am I a weird guy now? What am I doing? How do I stop? Can you hear my thoughts? Why am I on my thoughts so loud?
The school security guard appears.
Hey, I know you stuck out last night, Morales.
Play dumb. Who's Morales? Not that dumb.
Panicking, Miles takes off running.
Hey!
Miles rounds a corner and runs down the hall trying. He finds an open door and runs into interior office continuous. Miles slams the door behind him.
You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. He'll never find you.
He spins to look around the office and sees, to his horror, a photo of the security guard and his buddies.
No!
Exterior security office. The guard reaches the door, starts to bang. We now see the sign on the door, security office. Inside the office, Miles is stuck, yanking on the door. His hand pulls away, ripping off the door's veneer. He stands, his hand sticking to his shirt and accidentally yanking it over his eyes.
What are you doing in my office, Morales? Morales! Open up!
Unable to see, he runs directly into a bookshelf and sticks to it, pulling it down in front of the door. He hits the laptop and Spider-Man's Christmas song, Spidey Bells, starts to play.
Why is this happening?
Outside in the hallway, the security guard notices the kids reacting to the song playing from the office.
It's my kids' playlist.
Miles trips and rolls up the wall, circling the four walls like a dervish. He sticks to the ceiling and break dances.
Open up!
Stop sticking!
He falls onto a desk chair, then rolls out the window. Outside the building, Miles sticks straight out the windowsill, sticky feet the only thing preventing him from falling down.
Keep sticking, Miles.
Miles struggles to get inside. He rolls onto an adjacent window where a full classroom of transfixed students doesn't notice the horrified Miles on the window.
What Hofstadter is suggesting is that we look underneath.
Miles rolls around the building, rounding a corner. Suddenly, birds fly into him and somehow become stuck to his hands as they flap wildly, pecking at his eyes. Inside the glass hallway, we find Wanda watching Miles, a little perplexed.
Okay.
Back with Miles, rounding a corner, he's back at his dorm room.
My room.
In his room, Miles makes his way through his window to the floor. He looks up, breath heaving as a Spider-Man comic floats down onto his face. The true life tales of Spider-Man. Miles lifts the comic. It rips a bit, and he looks at it. The 2-page spread contains panels identical to what Miles just experienced. A spider bite. Peter Parker pulling on the door. Why is this happening? Please stop sticking. Rolling out the window and finally laying on the floor, exactly where Miles is.
How could there be 2 Spider-Men? There can't be 2 Spider-Men. Can there?
Splash page, the 2 Spider-Men. On the cover, Miles leans against a glass building 20 stories up. The real Spider-Man is his reflection, but he's bigger and cooler looking. Exterior Brooklyn Street, dusk. Miles races down the street. A phone rings.
Come on, Uncle Aaron, pick up. Pick up.
Yo, it's Aaron. I'm out of town for a few days. Hit you when I'm back. Peace.
His thoughts racing in voiceover.
No. It's not possible.
The thought bubble nose fly off behind him.
It's just puberty. It's a normal spider, and I'm a normal kid.
Scream! Miles races into the path of an oncoming car, but reflexes kick in and he vaults over it, an insane, super heroic leap that lands him 20 feet away. Amazed passerby cheers. Miles continues on, more freaked out than ever. On screen, comic book boxes. Later, Miles searches for answers. Interior subway train night. Miles rides the subway.
I gotta tell someone.
He scrolls to his dad's number. He thinks to himself for a beat, then decides against it. Interior subway station night. He exits the subway, turns toward a dark tunnel, and the dark tunnel that he and Uncle Aaron walked into.
You're being crazy, Miles. You're being crazy.
Interior abandoned subway tunnel night. The mural Miles made is still here.
Find a spider. You'll see.
The dead spider is there. Miles flips it over. It looks weird and fluorescent.
It's a normal spider. It's like boring how normal the spider is.
The spider glitches, making Miles jump back. Suddenly, Miles hears a rumble. He stands, startled. The rumble stops. It appears to be coming from a pitch black abandoned tunnel. A surge of spider sense. Overwhelming.
Why is this happening to me?
Interior pitch black tunnel. Miles shines his light into the darkness. This is scary. A long blue tube stamped Alchemex arcs into the distance, humming. Miles' spider sense continues to direct him. Another surge of spider sense hits Miles when we hear competing thoughts in his head.
Slow down. What am I doing? What am I doing?
Miles picks up the pace, jogs around the corner where Miles turns. A big surge of spider sense and multiple voices are heard together.
Look out. I don't want to be a hero. Look out.
You're like me.
All it is, Miles.
You're like me.
Look out.
Wham! A subway car flies toward him from the next room and smashes against the wall beside him.
Whoa!
Interior Super Collider staging chamber, continuous. A massive staging room containing Alchemex equipment. Zoom in on Spider-Man in mid-flight, backwards. He wrecks against some painful-looking equipment. On Miles, terrified. What's happening?
Muted there, Spider-Man.
Now, Norman, listen to me.
Spider-Man?
I cannot let you open a portal to another dimension. Like, Brooklyn is not zoned for that.
And to reveal Green Goblin, a 25-foot beast with massive wings. He unfurls a big blue tongue.
It's not up to me.
Is that Green Goblin?
Why won't you quit?
I don't know. I guess I like Brooklyn, not being sucked into a black hole.
I think I'm gonna go.
Staten Island, maybe, but not Brooklyn.
As Miles turns to run, a giant beam crashes into the room. Miles falls on top of it as it swings back out into the room where Goblin and Spider-Man are fighting. Miles hangs onto the beam for dear life.
No, no, no.
Miles is tossed around the room as Goblin and Spider-Man battle. Green Goblin throws cluster bombs as Spider-Man swings around them, and Miles avoids the explosion, but now he's exposed. This is way more real in person. He runs down a massive hallway away from the battle. Miles catches himself before tumbling over the end of the hallway into a giant room. Interior Super Collider room. He is now in an enormous chamber containing a Super Collider.
Whoa!
Miles looks around the room, confused.
What is this place?
Spider-Man and Goblin burst through the doors above him. Miles falls straight down, but Spidey spots Miles and swings him safely away, high and far from the action. They are on an observation ledge overlooking the Collider chamber. A beat as they appraise each other. Then,
Did you know your shoes were untied?
Uh-huh.
Well, this is a onesie, so I don't really have to worry about it.
a beat. Spidey senses something in Miles. Their spider senses resonate like a mind meld.
Whoa. Thought I was the only one. You're like me.
I don't want to be.
Well, I don't think you have much of a choice, kiddo. Got a lot going through your head, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to be fine. I can help you. Just stick around. I can show you the ropes.
Yeah.
Well, okay, look. I just need to destroy this big machine right quick. And then before the whole space-time continuum collapses, just don't move. I'll see you in a bit.
In an amazing, mind-boggling move, Spidey jumps away and uses the massive churning super collider to whip himself up until he's on the ceiling, hundreds of yards above, and eye level with the ceiling panel.
How does he do that?
He rips the panel out, reaches in, pulling out complicated wiring. He pulls a strange computerized key out of his suit and tries to plug it into a hanging port. Miles watches, impressed. Spider-Man tries to put the key in the port, but it's the wrong side. He flips it around. That's wrong too, somehow.
I always get this wrong.
As he finally gets it, a surge of spider sense.
Oh boy.
A purple blur streaks overhead. 2 punches from nowhere. Dazed, Spider-Man looks up and sees a lanky opponent in a purple mask and suit, wearing mechanized gloves and boots. It's the Prowler. As they fly across the room, fighting.
Prowler! Man, I was in the middle of something.
Prowler throws him hard to the ground.
Oh, so tired.
Prowler lunges towards Spider-Man, but Spider-Man expertly dodges and claws the spinning rocket boot kicks.
Ah, geez, are you mad at me? I feel like you're mad at me.
Miles watches from down below, helpless. He snaps a picture on his cell phone.
Oh, is that all you got?
The Green Goblin appears and pins Spider-Man to the ground. His giant blue tongue lashes around angrily, hitting Spider-Man with giant gobs of spit.
Ah, gross.
I should go up there and help him. Who am I kidding? I should not do that.
Pre-lab, the sound of loud, deliberate footsteps, the clinking of a pen, the clicking of a pen. Interior control room. Terrified scientists work as something huge walks through the room behind them. Reveal Kingpin, an elaborately tailored hulk of a man. He walks through the control room towards the windows that face out toward the collider room.
Doobie-doo, doobie-doo, watch out, here comes the Spider-Man. You like my new toy? It cost me a fortune, but hey, you can't take it with you, right? You came all this way, watch the test. It's a hell of a freaking light show, you're gonna love this.
No, don't do this. I mean, stop. You don't know what it can do. It'll kill us all.
The collider roars on, lights moving up the walls toward the top as it crescendos with clunk. A tiny atmospheric meter in a box lowers down, blinking with a tiny whir. Spider-Man confused as the sensor locks into place. Blam! The collider behind Spidey activates, firing particle beams at the box, which freaks out. Its readings on haywire. It's crazy looking. Kingpin watches a huge smile. A dream coming true. The scientists are growing excited.
The portal was opening.
I see multiple dimensions opening.
Good.
That was 3, 4, and 5 separate dimensions.
It's unstable. We should stop.
Exterior Brooklyn, same time. A Brooklynite looks up from a quivering latte at a foam party. A minor earthquake shakes Brooklyn, but this is no ordinary earthquake. Weird colors, weird blurring, 25 traffic lights vibrating in the same space, 25 different looking Chrysler buildings vibrating in the same space. As we'll later learn, this is a dimensional quake. Very dangerous, but it looks cool. Inside the collider room, Spider-Man struggles as Goblin continues to hold him to the ground. The ceiling tiles begin to shake, falling onto Goblin.
Norm, what's your take on head trauma? Try to warn you, pal.
Spidey jumps toward the collider, but Goblin rises, flies, then grabs Spider-Man and shoves him into the beam tiny portal. The beam now out of control.
Goblin, no. Get him out of there.
Uh-oh. Goblin pushes Spidey's head into the beam. Peter's point of view. Psychedelic lights and undulating threads. We don't know it yet, but we are seeing a portal to the multiverse. Spidey starts to glitch strangely. Spidey regains control, pulling Goblin into the beam. A huge energy pulse bursts out from the collider, knocking everyone back. Outside, the pulse whooshes through the city, knocking the lights out temporarily. Interior Super Collider staging area, intercut. The pulse wrecks the chamber. Miles has fallen through a hole in the floor, smoke billowing everywhere. Miles scrambles by the remains of the Green Goblin, crushed by some heavy machinery. Dead. Miles reaches a very injured Spider-Man.
Hey, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm just resting.
Can't you get up?
Oh, yeah, I always get up. Coughing is probably not a good sign.
Noises from above, shadows. Kingpin's thugs have discovered the hole.
Okay, so listen, we got to team up here. Oh, we don't have much time.
Spider-Man hands the shutdown key to Miles.
Okay, so this is the override key, the only way to stop the collider. So swing up there, use this key, push the button, blow it up.
Spider-Man swallows hard, his breath shallower, his voice fast. This is serious.
You need to hide your face. Don't tell anyone who you are. No one can know. He's got everyone in his pocket.
What?
If he turns the machine on again, everything you know will disappear. Your family, everyone. Everyone. Promise me that you'll do this.
I promise.
Go destroy the collider. I'll come find you. It's going to be okay.
Miles clambers up a debris pile to the floor above. Miles peeks down to the top of the collider. It's so far up there. Down below, the conversation continues. Kingpin enters.
Tombstone, we're done with tests. Get that thing ready to go again.
The scientist backs away, runs. Kingpin shakes his head.
Run faster. These guys are weak.
Kingpin approaches Spider-Man.
I'd say it's nice to see you again, Spider-Man, but it's not.
Hey, Kingpin. How's business?
Booming. Ha!
Nice.
Kingpin takes off Spider-Man's mask.
Oh, that's a no-no.
It's Peter Parker, 26 years old, blonde.
This might open a black hole under Brooklyn. Can't be worth the risk.
It's not always about the money, Spider-Man.
Prowler appears from the darkness, advances on Peter.
Don't you want to know what I saw in there?
Wait.
Kingpin's hand raises. Prowler halts.
I know what you're trying to do. It won't work. They're gone.
A flash of fury, and Kingpin delivers a death blow himself. A long beat.
Get rid of the body.
On Miles, eyes widening. Miles moves slightly and makes debris fall.
What was that?
They follow the noise up to Miles' silhouetted figure.
Kill that guy.
Miles runs. Prowler takes off after Miles. Interior subway tunnels continuous. Miles races down the tunnel toward the light of the station. He hops the fence, no hesitation. Prowler sprints behind with infrared vision. A subway train is coming. Miles leaps into the air and grabs the ceiling as the deafening subway passes beneath him. Prowler walks toward Miles as Miles realizes his hands are stuck. Miles swings his legs around to free himself as Prowler approaches. A nightmare come to life.
Stop sticking!
Miles somehow rips his hands off, skin tearing. Ow! And races out of the tunnel. Into the light, clambering onto the platform. Another train coming. Miles leaps, just clearing it. He runs upstairs. Prowler watches from the shadowy tunnel, unable to follow. Stand clear of the closing doors, please. Exterior Brooklynite. Prowler whizzes through the busy streets on his motorcycle. He drives right by the hiding Miles. Miles runs past a crowd that is gathering around the strange, clustered traffic lights we saw earlier, a remnant of dimensional glitching, taking photos.
Yeah, I think it's a Banksy.
Interior Miles' childhood bedroom later. Off screen, a TV plays the news as Miles climbs through the window.
New Yorkers are reporting sporadic power outages in the wake of another strange seismic event.
He's breathing heavy. He's freaked out and so scared. Jeff's voice rings out from off screen.
Please put your hands up. Miles? Miles.
Jefferson sees Miles.
Aren't you at school?
Miles runs up to his dad and embraces him. Jeff is confused, then seems to get it.
Oh, whoa. It's okay.
Miles, ¿qué te pasa? Is it the earthquake?
Miles looks at each of his parents, torn. Maybe he should confide in them?
Can I sleep here tonight?
Miles, it's a weeknight. You made a commitment to that school.
Jeff, he's upset.
Rio and Jeff share a look. Jeff understands, softens.
I mean, of course you could stay.
Miles sits down on his bed.
Dad?
Yeah.
Do you really hate Spider-Man?
Yeah. I mean, with the vigilante.
Rio shoves Jeff out.
Jeff, me and more.
Oh, wow, he asked me. Baby, you know how I feel about Spider-Man? Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff leaves. Miles lies down on his bed. Rio tenderly strokes Miles' forehead.
Tú sabes que él te quiere mucho. That's why he's tough on you. You know that, right?
Mom, do you ever think about moving out of Brooklyn?
Our family doesn't run from things. Miles.
Yeah, I know.
Rio kisses his forehead, gets up, lights out.
He's having a hard time, Jeff.
Well, when it gets hard, that's when you gotta stick it out.
Shh. Tiene que más suave.
Their voices fade. Miles takes a key out of his pocket in a closed fist as the muffled sound of his parents' voices fades away. Miles opens his hand, revealing the key. Miles stares at it. TV News Bulletin, exterior New York City, intercut. Rio and Jefferson watch the news. Miles sits up in bed.
We interrupt this broadcast for a special report. Sad news tonight, the hero known as Spider-Man has died after injuries related to another powerful quake in Brooklyn.
Over a montage of people around the city finding out Spider-Man died, we hear.
Multiple sources are confirming that Peter Parker, a 26-year-old grad student and part-time photographer, operated as Spider-Man for at least a decade, saving by some counts thousands of lives around the world. With these tragic seismic events on the rise, one can only wonder, is there anyone who can keep New York safe.
People look at cell phones in Times Square.
Peter Parker, Spider-Man, is dead. He's survived by his wife, Mary Jane, and his aunt, May Parker. I hear Spider-Man is gone.
Exterior electronics store day. Miles stands in front of a TV display at a store window. All the TVs are playing the news about Spider-Man's death. Miles looks at the TVs, his reflection appearing between photos of Spider-Man and Peter Parker.
My husband, Peter Parker, was an ordinary person. He always said it could have been anyone behind the mask. He was just the kid who happened to get bit.
Interior stands costume store day. Miles looks at a Spider-Man costume, deciding, then buys it from a comic book owner who looks a lot like...
I'm gonna miss him.
Yeah.
And we were friends, you know.
Can I return it if it doesn't fit?
It always fits. Eventually.
Beat. Stan's head tilts to a sign, no returns. He smiles. Interior bathroom. Miles puts the costume on and stares at himself in the mirror.
He didn't ask for his powers, but he chose to be Spider-Man.
His experiments, crouching in a classic Spider-Man pose. He relaxes and quickly tries another pose. Exterior cathedral day. Miles walks in a sea of well-wishers in full costume, many also in Spider-Man costumes, homemade and store-bought.
My favorite thing about Peter is that he made each of us feel powerful. We all had powers of one kind or another, but in our own way, we are all Spider-Man. We're all counting on you.
They're counting on me.
Probably not you specifically. I think it's a metaphor.
MJ backs away from the dais. Aunt May comforts her. Exterior alley. Miles rounds a corner and takes out the Spider-Man Origins comic book. He flips to a page that depicts Peter testing his new powers by jumping from a building. Interior building day. Miles runs up a flight of stairs, eyes determined. He bursts through a door and onto exterior rooftop day. Miles walks to the edge, looks down, and then across to the neighboring roof, calculating the jump. He backs up, cracks his neck, waits there. As the music crescendos, interior building day. Miles runs down a flight of stairs. Interior building day. Miles, disappointed in himself for chickening out, eyes a shorter building. Interior building day. Miles runs up another flight of stairs. Exterior roof day. He backs up, cracks his neck, then runs, gaining speed, and trips on his untied shoelace, falling to the ground below. We make a meal of the fall, comic style. Miles lands with a crack first card and pulls out the key, which is now totally broken. Exterior cathedral night later. It's snowing now, empty and quiet. Footsteps on snow as Miles approaches Peter Parker's grave. He takes off his mask, looks down at Peter's gravestone and sighs, then speaks, so softly we can barely hear him.
I'm sorry, Mr. Parker. That thing you gave me, the key, I think I really messed it up. I want to do what you asked. I really do, but I'm sorry. I'm not sure I'm the guy. I can't do this without you.
Behind Miles, a dark figure rises, casting a shadow.
Hey, kid.
Terrified, Miles pulls his mask down and turns around. The figure steps forward. Miles panics and throws his arms up, accidentally delivering a venom strike. The dark figure flies back as webbing flies from his hands and sticks to Miles, yanking Miles forward.
Whoa.
Miles sits up and looks at his hands, the webbing.
What did I do to him?
Miles runs over to the body, pulls back his jacket, and reveals a Spider-Man costume.
No. Who are you?
All right, people. Let's do this one last time. My name is Peter B. Parker.
Pages flip fast. Coming next month, a Spider-Man from another world. Splash page, the amazing Spider-Man. Quick flashes, similar but not identical to the ones we saw in the cold open. High energy running, fighting, leaping.
I was bitten by a radioactive spider, and for the last 22 years, I fought as the one and only Spider-Man.
Peter on a gargoyle drinking coffee with the morning paper.
What a day. I'm pretty sure you know the rest.
Interior, exterior, a rapid barrage of images from Spider-Man canon whiz by, but with variations and new shots too. Instead of Uncle Ben on the bed, for instance, it's Aunt May.
See, I saved the city, fell in love, got married, saved the city some more, maybe too much. My marriage got testy, made some dicey money choices. Don't invest in a spider-themed restaurant.
We see a few fast images of Spider-Man doing his thing, but losing a step. Swinging with coffee, etc., standing in front of a shuttered TGI Spideys, signing divorce papers, holding his back, bad investments, doors slamming, getting hit by a drone.
Then like 15 years passed, blah, 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 super boring. I broke my back, a drone flew into my face, I buried Aunt May, my wife and I split up, but I handled it like a champ.
Cut to Peter crying on the floor of the shower in his spider suit.
No matter how many times I get hit, I always get back.
Peter slumped like a slug in a bed wearing his costume. His alarm goes off. He lifts up his mask and immediately pulls it back down. He refuses to shut off the alarm, so it keeps blaring. He watches TV, a nature show, seahorses reflecting, and his sad spider eyes.
I got a lot of time to reflect and work on myself. Do you know that seahorses, they mate for life? Can you imagine a seahorse? Seeing another seahorse and just making it work. She wanted kids, and it scared me.
Peter sits on the roof of a building looking at his phone, deciding whether or not to call MJ.
I'm pretty sure I broke her heart. But flash forward, I'm in my apartment, doing push-ups, doing ab crunches, getting strong.
Reveal Peter with his costume half on, eating pizza.
And this weird thing happened.
A tremor hits the room, causing the same strange color separation we saw before. Peter's whole body suddenly shakes and vibrates as he looks up, where a psychedelic portal yawns open, sucking him toward it. His body flies up, half tones more prominent.
I gotta say, weird things happen to me a lot, but this was real weird.
Peter uses his limbs to fight, but it's too strong. The portal closes. The pizza slice drops to the floor. Interior interdimensional portal continuous. Halftone Peter flies screaming through an insane multiverse, trying to pull his mask on. He is falling towards a strange kaleidoscope of Spider-Man, just like we saw earlier, towards the bright center. Exterior Brooklynite. Peter explodes in an energy burst out of the collider. The pulse from earlier that spread through Brooklyn after Spider-Man and Green Goblin fell to the beam. Peter tumbles and careens through a blur of city and night sky as his molecules solidify, finally coming to a rest in Times Square. Peter slowly stands, stares open-mouthed at strange buildings, billboards, and stores with close but not quite right logos.
In New York, but things were different.
Finally, Peter looks at the ticker tape LED sign in front of NNN, National News Network, cable station. New York's hero, Spider-Man, found dead at 26.
Also, I was dead and blonde. I was kind of perfect. It's like looking into a mirror.
We cut from RIP Peter to this new Peter lifting his mask. One slick and new, one old and beat up. Cut up to Peter at Spider-Man's funeral. MJ gives her eulogy.
My husband, Peter Parker, was an ordinary person. He always said it could have been anyone behind the mask.
I have a feeling the thing that brought me here was the thing that got him killed. You wanna know what happened next? Me too.
We see Miles' Venom strike again. Miles approaches the figure, a flash of Spidey sense. The The figure looks like Peter Parker, but with brown hair.
Who are you?
What are you doing over there? Freeze! PD at New York PD.
A flashlight finds Miles, who startles, hands up. Miles decides to run, but he's tied to an unconscious body and is snapped back.
Are you kidding me right now?
Police approach, turning on body cameras. Miles gasps. Frantic, he picks up the immobile Peter on his back.
Stop! Stop! Hey, kid, drop the body.
Miles picks up surprising speed, tracking footprints in the snow, where Peter's dragging legs quickly blur.
Hey, kid, get over here.
Miles sees the glint of the web shooters on Peter's wrists. Thinking fast, he aims Peter's arms to shoot webbing. The web darts out and attached to a nearby tree. Miles and Peter swing forward.
See you, officers.
Then they crest and go sailing back.
Oh, come on.
They spin through the air and smack into a wall, Peter dragging Miles down. Peter lands in the snow and Miles lands in his lap.
Come on now, put him up, son.
Miles puts his and Peter's hands up, flops the hands around as he gesticulates. Miles accidentally uses Peter's web shooter, firing it toward an oncoming elevated train. It connects.
Adios.
Whoosh! Miles and Peter are whipped out of frame and dragged through the snow by the train. Bam! He slams into Peter Parker's gravestone, knocked out as Miles pinballs from gravestone to gravestone.
Help! Somebody stop that train!
Exterior New York City continuous. Miles and an unconscious Peter get dragged through the city. The train lifts them up into the air above the traffic as cop cars follow behind, sirens blazing. Peter lips flap. The trajectory of the train lowers them down toward an unsuspecting bicyclist. Miles and Peter get tangled with the bicyclist, causing him to go flying in the air. Multi-panel.
Hey, what the?
They whiz through the oncoming traffic, pedestrians, Miles trying to swing his weight around to maneuver through. Trying to lift up Peter, Miles instead focuses his face into the ground. Peter is knocked unconscious again.
I'm going to die!
Miles realizes he has to handle this somehow. Miles puppets Peter's body, moving Peter's legs and arms to parkour over cars, push off signs, anything to survive. Two cops sit in traffic. Their radio crackles to life.
Looks like a child dressed as Spider-Man dragging a homeless corpse behind a train.
The guys hit the siren lights. Peter comes to again. So groggy.
Yes, I didn't kill you.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Why are you trying to kill me?
I'm not trying to save you.
Bam! Peter's head hits a traffic light and he's knocked unconscious again. Peter comes to again as they stuck to the side of a bus and slowly slide along the window. The train keeps moving. The web is stretching taut. Peter comes to again. So groggy. Finally, the train stops at a station and they come to a stop at an intersection. Miles and Peter detach to a sidewalk surrounded by New Yorkers who simply walk over them.
Hey, maybe you guys can go around? All right. Thanks, New York.
Interior Uncle Aaron's apartment, night. Time cut. Peter's point of view. He opens his eyes.
What was that? Kid electrocuted me? His hands?
Peter, so groggy, is tied to a punching bag. The punching bag is tied with many, many, many ropes and computer cords, like a homemade spiderweb. Miles sits opposite him. A flash of spider sense. Peter realizes what Miles is.
You're like me.
Miles puts up a top front. He nearly pulls it off.
I've got some questions.
Peter lunges erratically. Miles startled, frightened.
Why do you look like Peter Parker?
Because I am Peter Parker.
And why are you different? Why aren't you dead? Why is your hair different? Why are you older? Why is your body a different shape?
Pretty sure you just called me fat.
No. You just...
Hey, listen, kid. You don't look so hot either. And most superheroes don't wear their own merch.
Miles looks at his outfit and frowns. Why is this dude throwing shade at him?
Are you a ghost?
No,
Are you a zombie?
stop it.
Am I a zombie?
You're not even close.
Are you from another dimension? Like a parallel universe where things are like this universe but different, and you're Spider-Man in that universe, but somehow travel to this universe, but you don't know how?
Wow, that was really a guess.
Well, we learned about it in physics.
Quantum theory.
This is amazing. You could teach me just like Peter said he would.
Yeah, before he died.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, all right.
Look, I made a promise to him.
Now here's lesson number 1, kid. Don't watch the mouth. Watch the hands.
Peter holds up his untied hands. Miles is flabbergasted. Peter stands up. Before Miles can react, Peter leaps, kick spins the punching bag toward Miles, knocking him over hard.
Peter, seriously.
Peter webs his mouth shut. Peter bounds through the window, turns back, feeling guilty.
Trust me, kid. This will all make you a better Spider-Man.
Peter leaps from the window, but his powers glitch. He falls. We hear him scream. Then he hits the fire escape. Exterior fire escape night.
Hey, are you okay?
No, I'm not.
Blow out your body.
Oh, I don't think my atoms are real jazzed about being in the wrong dimension. Yeah. Oh, look, I'm not looking for a sidekick as a Spider-Man coach. I got a lot going on in my dimension, like a lot.
Hey, with great power comes
Don't
great.
you dare finish that sentence. Don't do it. Yeah. Like, you want my advice? Go back to being a regular kid.
I don't have a choice. Kingpin's got a super collider. He's trying to kill me.
Wait a second. What did you just say?
Kingpin's trying to kill me?
Who cares about that? Where's the collider?
Brooklyn, under Fist Tower.
Goodbye.
Peter starts walking down the building. Miles struggles to follow. Note, rest of the scene staged like a classic New York City movie walk and talk, but it's vertical. And yet one of the participants hasn't learned to walk yet.
Where are you going?
When it runs again, I'll just jump in and get back to my life.
You can't just let them run it. I'm supposed to destroy it so it never runs again, or everyone's gonna die.
Or everyone's gonna die. Yeah, that's what they always say. But there's always a little bit of time before everyone dies. That's when I do my best work.
Aren't you going to need this?
Miles produces the goober.
Oh, you got a goober. Give it.
Peter reaches out. Miles holds it back.
Wait, no, not so fast. He called it an override key.
Yeah, there's always a bypass key, a virus key, a who cares key. I can never remember, so I just call it a goober. Give it.
I needed to destroy the collider.
I needed to go home.
Miles puts it in his mouth.
No, I'm playing it. I'm playing it.
What?
Peter starts to walk again, knowing he'll provoke a response.
Oh, good.
Without even looking at Miles, Peter nonchalantly webs the goober right out of Miles's mouth.
Hey!
That collider created a portal that brought me here. And I have to... Did you break this?
No, it broke. I don't remember what happened.
This is why I never have kids. This is why I never did that.
Can't you make another one?
No, we can't do anything. Thanks to you, I have to re-steal what your guy stole from Malcolm X and make another one of these.
Look, if I don't turn off the collider after you leave, everyone in this city, my parents, my uncle, and millions of others will die. And you're just gonna go home and leave me here to figure this out for myself? You good with that, Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Peter walks away over the top of the building and disappears from sight. Miles, utterly defeated, sits down on the wall with his head in his hands. Peter peeks his head back over the ledge, not so far below the surface as the guy who used to care, but...
What are you doing?
Making you feel guilty. Is it working?
How could it? No, look at me. Does it look like it's working? No, it's not. It's not. No. No, oh, no. Do not let him win.
Miles raises his head up to see Peter walk back towards him.
All right, kid. You win. Come on. We don't have a second to lose.
Miles smiles. Exterior, interior, Greek diner, early morning. Match cut Miles' face, annoyed. Peter stuffs his face while Miles watches. This is not a normal Spider-Man.
Oh, I love this burger. It's so delicious. One of the best burgers I've ever had. See, in my universe, this place go down like 6 years ago. I don't know why. I really don't. You have money, right? I'm not very liquid right now.
Can we focus?
Sure.
The other Peter.
Are you gonna eat that? I'm listening.
The other Peter said he was going to be showing me the ropes.
Wow.
You got any Spider-Man tips you could tell me now?
Yeah, I got plenty. Disinfect the mask. You're gonna want to use baby powder in the suit, heavy on the joints. You don't want any chafing, right?
Anything else?
No, that's everything.
I think you're going to be a bad teacher.
Hey, look up where Alchemex is.
Private technological campus in the Hudson Valley, New York. You can teach me to swing on the way there.
Peter laughs. Time cut. Peters and Miles ride a bus through the Hudson Valley.
I'm not swinging to the Hudson Valley, Miles. Not after a hearty burger breakfast. Keep your legs fresh. You'll thank me later.
As Miles shakes his head, we cut to exterior Alchemix Labs day. Unzip, shorts down, masks on, they suit up. Reveals Miles wearing a yellow cape with a Spidey suit.
And it's a no on the cape.
I think it's cool.
Peter grabs the cape. Miles grabs it. A bit of tug of war.
Take it off. It's disrespectful. Spider-Man doesn't wear capes.
Finally, Peter yanks the cape from Miles. Miles and Peter lie at the edge of the woods, scoping it out. Beautiful Zaha Hadid-style buildings, a dream campus, peppered amongst the thuggish guys in lab coats.
So how do we retrace Peter's steps?
Good question. I can't see in this mask. What would I do if I were me? Got it. Step 1, infiltrate the lab.
We quickly see multi-panel images of a mission going off without a hitch, and with Miles barely appearing.
Find the head scientist's computer.
Miles interrupts his image of a classic scientist.
The lady with the bike is the head scientist. I saw her in this documentary at school.
Cool. Step 3, I re-examine my personal biases. Step 4, I hack the computer.
Miles pops into the multi-panel image of Peter downloading the override code from the scientist's computer.
It's not technically hacking. It's kind of...
No, hold on. I just lost my train of thought. Step 5, download the important stuff. I'll know it when I see it. And step 6, grab a bagel from the cafeteria and run.
Back live.
So what am I doing?
Step 7, you stay here. Your lookout. Very important.
Miles reacts.
Look, man, you have to teach me to do Spider-Man stuff or I'm not going to be able to help.
All right. Watch and learn, kid. I'll quiz you later.
And he's gone, stealthily swinging across the clearing toward the Alchemix building, where Peter crawls down a grate, opens it, and enters. Now Miles is alone in the woods.
Why did I get stuck with the janky old broke hobo Spider-Man?
Miles punches the rock and it cracks.
That's new.
Suddenly, a limo pulls up to the building, and who should step out but Kingpin, flanked by Tombstone. He walks into Alchemix. Miles freezes.
Kingpin?
He hides behind the rock, thinking, what does he do? What does he do? What does he do? Hard cut to Miles running across the field towards Alchemix.
What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing?
Miles looks over the side of the building as Kingpin and Tombstone enter. He awkwardly enters the open gate into Interior Alchemix Labs vent. Miles crawls through. He follows Kingpin with Tombstone, marching through the halls below. Kingpin blocks light from the below as he walks.
Peter! Peter!
Miles isn't looking where he's going, so he fails to notice the large butt ahead crashing into it.
Peter!
Yeah, what are you doing here?
Kingpin's here. Just move over.
Miles tries to warm up next to Peter. Miles and Peter complain like two brothers sharing a sleeping bag.
Wait, you're stepping on my foot.
Well, to your right.
Go back outside.
No, I can't sit there and just let Spider-Man die without doing anything about it. I'm not doing that again.
Peter reacts, softens.
What?
Most people I meet in the workplace try to kill me. So you're a nice change of pace.
Mr. Fisk! Below the vents, the head scientist leads Kingpin to a computer. Look at this data. I know you can't really understand it, but these numbers are really good numbers. Interior lab continuous. She goes to the computer and enters her password.
And I got the password.
Mr. Fisk, if we fire again this week, there could be a black hole under Brooklyn. Do you see this? And this? This is multiple dimensions beginning to crash into each other. Vents. Miles and Peter listen. Miles grows very nervous. Peter noticing.
This is pretty standard Spider-Man stakes. He get used to it. Watch this. He's going to say, you've got 24 hours.
Got 24 hours.
What this means is there could be a rupture in the space-time continuum.
Oh, that's bad. Actually, everything she said was bad. I was lying before.
The group below is exiting. As they do, Peter springs into action. Peter climbs out of the air vent, smoothly crawls upside down along the ceiling duct, and jumps down. He starts hacking into the scientist's computer. He hears her off screen talking to Fisk. Okay, hold on. Let me show you some more data. Peter looks back, sees Miles out of the vent.
What are you doing, bud?
Miles exerts himself, trying to unstick. He shakes his head.
Move.
Okay, just relax your fingers. We're out of time. Just let go. Be in the moment.
I am in the moment. It's a terrible moment.
Cut outside to Kingpin and the head scientist. I'm not refusing.
No more excuses.
I just need more time. Cut back inside to Miles.
Okay, you're right there. They're right there. They're going to see you. Miles, you got to unstick. What do you do to relax?
Relax. Okay.
For crying out loud.
Miles starts humming to himself. He unsticks a finger, then another, starts to move his hands. The rest of Miles's fingers come unstuck and Miles starts to fall. Miles and the metal duct crash to the ground with a huge clang.
Teenagers, just the worst.
Interior lab continuous. Peter's spider sense motivates him to look at the door's window, through which he sees the head scientist turn back to her office, having heard the crash.
Hey, Miles? Where'd you go?
He's nowhere to be seen, but we can hear him. They continue to whisper yell.
I'm right here.
Where? I can't see you.
I'm right in front of you. Can Spider-Man turn invisible?
Not in my universe.
Ow, just poke me in the eye.
This is incredible. Some kind of flight or fight thing.
What's that?
The head scientist walks toward her office to investigate. Peter turns suddenly in a panic.
Remember this password, capital DGFAMPESAND $4.358765433 3454545.
Yeah, Peter, I need to write it down.
And download the schematic.
So how do I do that?
While I turn on the charm.
The head scientist walks into her office to see Spider-Man standing casually with his arm on her desk and a metal duct dented in the middle of the floor. Spider-Man?
Oh, hey. Didn't see you there.
Wow. Okay, I'm kind of freaking out right now. I mean, you're supposed to be dead.
Surprise!
The head scientist suddenly pulls up Spidey's mask,
Well, okay, that's a no-no. We don't like that.
revealing Peter's face. On the head scientist, she gasps. She quickly appraises him up and down, now laser focused. This is fascinating. She snaps on a latex glove and grabs Peter's face.
Okay, that's my face.
An entirely different Peter Parker. The head scientist bends down to poke Peter's stomach. Behind her, we see semi-visible Miles running around confused. Peter's eyes widen. He's gonna be got. Okay, a little bit of a gut, perhaps from dimensional warping.
Oh, yeah. I was way flatter before I warped.
Miles arrives at the computer and frantically plugs in his drive, typing the password. DGMAFPESAND $4. Then travel through the multiverse appears to have deteriorated. On Miles, the screen.
34, 54, 54, 3. What was the rest?
Miles pauses, unsure of the rest. Peter whistles. The head scientist looks up at Peter in response, a little suspicious.
How old are you? You don't look a day over 35.
Miles types the 35. It works, but then a baffling desktop full of files appears.
Look at your desktop, lady.
As Peter frantically clocks Miles while trying not to be obvious, the scientist shoves Peter into a chair, hard. This might pinch a little. Mechanical restraints strap Peter to the chair.
Ow.
She grabs a tool, advances. I know, I just need these samples. She jams a tongue depressor into Peter's mouth.
Yeah, okay.
The head scientist studies a sample on a slide. Wow, just complete cellular decay. I've never seen anything like this. Peter sees a monitor and a computer floating in the air.
What are you doing?
I'm just taking the whole thing.
The head scientist turns to look at Peter. And obviously you've been glitching.
Glitching? No. Why would you even say that?
If you stay in this dimension too long, your body is going to disintegrate. Do you know how painful that would be, Peter Parker?
I don't know.
You can't imagine. And I, for one, can't wait to watch.
What did you say your name was?
Dr. Olivia Octavius. Oh no. She takes off her blue glasses and puts on her red goggles. Her tentacles unfurl. One tentacle grabs Peter by the neck and slams him into the wall. Ladies and gentlemen, meet this dimension's Dr. Octopus.
I assume that your friends call you Doc Ock?
My friends actually call me Liv. My enemies call me Doc Ock. Peter shoots a web towards the door control panel, opening the door for Miles to escape through.
I got this! One!
Who are you talking to? Miles looks down at the empty hallway but hesitates, leaving Peter behind. Oh, you got it, Peter? Miles takes off down the hallway. Peter is repeatedly slammed into the glass walls as Miles runs by him.
I got a handle, buddy! Everything is fine!
The alarm blares with the red alert lighting. Interior hallway, Miles runs, terrified, carrying the computer, flashing between visible and invisible like a human strobe light. So many emotions swirling, his powers can't tap into just one. He runs into a lab assistant, turning visible.
Ah! It's a little bit bad.
Oh, you're chatty. The lab assistant leaps up, freaked. She sure looks like Gwanda in a lab coat. Peter and Doc Ock continue fighting through the offices and laboratories. It's, well, let's let Peter tell us.
And this is the moment that I'm losing the fight.
Boom! Peter smashes through a wall and lands next to Miles.
Oh.
Peter winces in pain. Miles holds up the computer monitor, shrugs.
All right, well, let me tell you the good news. We don't need the monitor.
Peter grabs the monitor, throws it. Peter is already swinging out the door. Miles is shocked. Then, through the dust, we see the iconic four metallic-armed silhouette of Doc Ock. She emerges, towering above. Peter, you didn't tell me you had an invisible friend. Could you give me that back, young man?
Peter.
It's proprietary. Her arm extends to Miles when Peter swings Miles out the door. Peter yanks him through the door, shooting another web to close the door in Ock's face. Nice going, Peter. Exterior Alchemex Labs, cafeteria, day. Miles and Peter run out of a door and find themselves facing a group of dining security guard grad students. A beat.
Wow. This would be a good time to turn invisible.
Yep.
Okay, not gonna turn invisible. Selecting a bagel. Back super normal.
Peter starts to walk past the buffet. Super normal. Not normal at all. Helps himself to a bagel. As he walks, Miles follows. The security guard students notice.
Spider-Man.
You know what's funny? I get that a lot.
Hey.
Peter trades Miles the bagel for the computer.
Now we do a switchy.
The students pull out weaponry. Peter grabs the computer, and as Peter and Miles run, the students chase.
Hey, hands up!
Get back here! Where do you think you're going? He took a bagel!
Exterior Alchemex Labs, sun deck, continuous. As they run, Peter takes off one of his web shooters, throws it into Miles, who struggles to put it on.
All right, time to swing, just like I taught you.
When did you teach me that?
Didn't. It's a little joke for team building.
Peter passes the web shooter, throws Miles off the deck, swinging into the forest.
All right, you ready?
Of course I'm not ready.
Exterior Hudson Forest continuous. Peter swings into the trees, but Miles is frozen. He's never actually swung before. Miles is a disaster, twisting and flailing his web as gunfire explodes branches and tree trunks around him.
Oh, I can't do this yet.
Everybody knows the best way to learn is under intense, life-threatening pressure.
Miles fumbles with his web shooter.
Come on, come on.
But he misses, tumbling to the ground. Guards find him and start shooting.
Uh-oh.
Miles sprints along the forest floor as Peter swings above him.
What are you doing down here?
I run better than I swing.
Oh, you gotta swing or they'll catch you. This is what you wanted.
Miles hears a buzzsaw. Doc Ock appears, cutting down trees with her mechanical arms. Miles tries to find purchase with his web shooter, but he keeps missing. Come back, little boy! Peter doubles back, yelling advice at Miles.
I look, aim with your hips, look where you want to hit, square your shoulders, don't get to follow through, and don't shoot off your back foot.
Miles runs up a tree. He's out of runway.
There's too many things.
Stop listening to me.
That's the best idea I've had all day.
Miles leaps off a tree, shoots off a web, and it connects. He swings away as Peter knocks down Doc Ock.
Nice, Miles.
Miles swings into a branch and swings alongside Peter.
I'm doing it.
Good. You're doing it. A double tap to release and whip it out again. Yeah, whip and...
Okay, the whip.
And release. And
Whip.
whip.
We're actually seeing the thwips on screen.
Release.
Whip and release.
Oh, you're a natural.
Whip.
Whip.
Release.
Release. Feel the rhythm.
Woo! And release.
Good, Miles.
It's ugly, but they look pretty good. They really do.
I gotta say, you're amazing, man.
Team. Me as the teacher who can still do it. You as the student who can do it, just not as good. I'm proud of us. Is there something you want to say to me?
Just then, Peter glitches, falling down a thick branch.
Peter.
Miles crashes onto the branch, grabbing the computer by its power cord. However, the branch breaks, causing both to fall down, which allows Ock to grab the computer. They're done for. But then, whoosh, a black and pink blur swings by.
What the?
Who did that?
In midair, we see a mysterious girl in a hoodie and ballet shoes dispatches Doc Ock while webbing Peter and Miles safely. She stands with Miles and Peter in embarrassing positions. She demasks.
Hey, guys.
Gwanda?
It's
Wanda?
Gwen, actually.
Oh, you know her. Very cool.
I'm from another dimension. I mean, another dimension.
Comic book panels flip to reveal Spider-Gwen number 65, team up with Ultimate Spider-Man.
All right, people. Let's start at the beginning one last time. My name is Gwen Stacy.
Interior Super Collider staging chamber flashback. We intercut Spider-Gwen, aka Gwanda, battling the lizard vaguely resembles Peter Parker in a slightly different location than the earlier Green Goblin fight, but with identical shot language.
I was bitten by a radioactive spider, and for the last 2 years, I've been the one and only Spider-Woman. You guys know the rest.
Quick flashes of 1, Gwen banging on a drum set, 2, Gwen's dad in a cop uniform being saved by Spider-Gwen, 3, Spider-Gwen dealing with the death blow to the lizard monster only for him to turn into Peter Parker as he dies. Gwen devastated. 4, Gwen walking down the street all alone, hands in pockets. And 5, Spider-Gwen fighting Doc Ock in a different collider room.
I joined a band, saved my dad. I couldn't save my best friend, Peter Parker, so now I save everyone else. And I don't do friends anymore, just to avoid any distractions. And one day, this weird thing happened.
Gwen wins the fight. Yes. But then a portal opens above her and she's sucked in, her particles becoming halftone.
And I mean, like, really weird.
Exterior Brooklyn flashback. Gwen explodes in an energy burst out of the collider.
I was blown into last week. Literally. I landed in New York, but not my New York.
Gwen tumbles and careens through a blurred city and night sky as her molecules solidify, time-lapse showing her traveling back in time, then finally coming to a rest in Times Square. Gwen slowly stares at the same Coca-Cola billboard where Peter found himself earlier. She sees footage in Times Square of Spider-Man rescuing people from earthquakes, the same clip we saw earlier in Jefferson's car.
This is the second earthquake in the tri-state area this month. Lucky for these folks, Spider-Man was there to save the day.
Interior Visions Academy hallway. Flashback. Gwen gets spider sense, sees Miles, then gets stuck to him.
My spider sense told me to head to Visions Academy. I wasn't sure why until I met you.
Exterior Hudson, present day.
I like your haircut. Oh, wait, sorry.
I like your haircut.
You don't get to like my haircut.
The sound of gunshots ring through the forest. The grad students are coming. Gwen fires her shooter and swings away.
Let's go.
Peter swings away. Miles fumbles with web shooters.
How many more spider people are there?
Save it for Comic-Con.
What's Comic-Con?
As bullets hit, Miles is webbed and pulled out of frame. Exterior Alchemix sun deck. Kingpin sits on the sun deck slowly and purposefully clicking a ballpoint pen. His stare is hard and intense, but unfocused. Flashback. Cut to a portrait of Kingpin with his wife and son hangs on an office wall. It's knocked down when Spider-Man is thrown into frame against the wall. Kingpin is fighting Spider-Man. It's brutal.
You're dead, Spider-Man.
Vanessa, Kingpin's wife in the portrait, walks in with her 13-year-old son, Richard, just as Kingpin is about to deliver the death blow to Spider-Man. They can't believe the level of violence they are seeing.
Wilson, what are you doing?
Kingpin turns around with blood splatter on his face. He realizes what they've seen.
Vanessa.
Richard, come on.
Vanessa takes Richard's hand and flees.
Vanessa, Richard, no!
She gets into her car and peels out. Richard turns around in his seat and looks back at Kingpin as they drive away.
Don't look back, honey. It's okay. It's okay.
Richard locks eyes with devastated Kingpin. Vanessa flies through the stop sign. Her car is T-boned. Present day, Kingpin breaks the pen in half. Ock swings in, disheveled. Kingpin leads in with murderous eyes. Ock reacts, weapons drawn. A standoff.
I killed Spider-Man. Why did I just see two more?
There's 3, actually. No, this is good. This is very, very good. It means you get what you want. It means my collider works. All we have to do is kill a couple of spiders, and the collider will bring your family back. As many families as you want. A tense beat. All wait for Kingpin's response. He imperceptibly nods to Tombstone, who holsters his gun. They turn and walk out.
Tomorrow at my collider.
Our collider? Exterior Queens morning. A bus. Inside, Miles and Gwen sit next to each other. Gwen holds the broken goober in her hand. Both want to talk. Neither wants to start the conversation. It should feel kind of like them side by side in class. Peter snores in the backseat.
He broke this?
Yeah, he's actually really embarrassed about it, so just keep it between us, okay?
I know where we can make a new one, and we won't let him break it this time.
Gwen and Miles smile at each other. She's letting Miles off the hook.
I'm sorry about your friend.
Thanks, Miles. I know how hard this is, to have to figure this stuff out on your own. It's kind of nice not being the only spider person around.
Yeah. If you ever decide to do friends again, I could always open up a slot.
A beat. Gwen considers.
I'll keep you posted.
Miles smiles at Gwen. In the back seat, we see Peter is awake and listening.
Cool.
Interior Queen Street, night. Peter takes in a small house. There are cards, bouquets, and toys cluttering the porch. A text box on screen tells us, somewhere in Queens.
We should probably go.
Peter, we're literally on the doorstep.
Bad idea. Bad idea. This is a bad idea.
Just relax.
The front door opens a crack, Aunt May's eyes peering out.
You guys are all very sweet, but no more fans today, please.
Aunt May's eyes widen. She steps out onto her porch, stunned at the sight of Peter. Isn't he supposed to be dead? And for Peter, isn't Aunt May dead?
I'm not ready for this.
Peter.
Hey, Aunt May. So this is gonna sound crazy, but I'm pretty sure I'm from an
Alternate dimension.
yeah.
May touches his face in awe. Peter absorbs her touch.
You look tired, Peter.
Well, I am tired.
And older and thicker?
Yeah, I've heard that already.
Geez, are those sweatpants?
Yep, that's what they are.
I was there when it all happened. I'm so sorry.
And what dimension are you from?
Brooklyn, did Peter have a place where we could make another one of these?
Miles showed her the busted doodad. Aunt May regards it.
A goober. Follow me.
Backyard. Aunt May kicks open a door and leads them to a garden shed in the tidy yard.
Oh yeah, I got one of these too. Little shed where I keep my spider gear.
A spider graphic begins to glow on the shed's door, which opens to reveal an elevator. Aunt May looks at Peter. Was yours like this? As they enter.
I mean, this place is pretentious.
Interior Peter Parker's lab, continuous. Into R.I. Peter's massive Spider-Man meets Calaverta lab, crammed with crime, fighting, and science gear, photos, hangout furniture, not to mention every Spider-branded product in existence. They reach the bottom, fan out, exploring.
Whoa! Dude, was yours anything like this?
Mine was like this, but take away the Jeep, the plane. Imagine it way smaller. Imagine a futon. I feel sad for this guy.
Miles notices one of these 616 Peter's costumes. It has a cape. He looks back at Peter slyly, vindicated. Peter finds a photo. R.I. Peter and MJ together, happy. It hits him hard. Miles notices.
Hey, Peter, I think this is a cape.
Peter can't help smiling. Gwen, in turn, watches this happen, her wheels turning. Miles is looking at the costumes, his reflection still a bit off-center. May walks up.
Peter knew how dangerous the job was, but he figured the only one who could stop this guy was Spider-Man.
Kingpin knows we're coming. We're going to be outnumbered.
Don't be so sure.
May holds out "My name is" stickers.
You might need these.
Miles's point of view. 4 sets of eyes open in the shadows. Spider sense rings out everywhere. Miles gasps. Gwen spins around on high alert. On a shocked Peter, Miles, and Gwen.
You think you're the only people who thought to come here?
Sound of blinds flicking open. Spider-Man Noir is lit with a Venetian blind shadows and black and white figure whose coat is inexplicably billowing around him.
Hey, fellas.
Is he black and white?
Where's the wind coming from? We're in a basement.
Wherever I go, the wind follows, and the wind smells like rain.
Sound of machine whirring above. Boom! Penny Parker jumps down from above.
Hi guys! Konnichiwa! Hajimashita! Yoroshiku!
Boom! Spider, Penny's robot, lands behind Penny in a badass spider pose.
This could literally not get any weirder.
Spider-Ham walks into the shot next to Peter. Long beat. He sticks out his hand for Peter to shake.
It can get weirder. I just washed my hands. That's why they're wet. No other reason, I swear.
All of their spider senses go off.
You're like
You're
me.
like me.
Spider-Ham, Spider-Man Noir, Penny Parker, Spider, comic drops on top of Gwen's. Ultimate Spider-Man crossover.
My name is Peter Parker.
My name is Penny Parker. Spider-Ham, goddammit!
My name is Peter Parker.
I was bitten by a radioactive spider.
spider.
Damn it, Travis.
I was bitten by a radioactive pig.
Noir dispatches endless bad guys. A spider in Spider's helmet bites Penny's outstretched hand.
In my universe, it's 1933 and I'm a private eye. I like to drink egg creams and I like to fight Nazis a lot.
I'm from New York in the year 3145. I have a psychic link with a spider who lives inside my father's robot, and we're best friends. Forever.
Sometimes I let matches burn down to my fingertips just to feel something, anything.
Full screen crazy spider ham images, including him working at the Daily Beagle, the newsroom of beagles.
I am a photographer for the Daily Beagle. When I'm not pooching around, I'm working like a dog, trying to sniff out the latest story. I frolic and I dance and I do this with my pants.
Back live as Peter interrupts.
Okay, enough.
Peter turns to Noir.
So, how'd you get here?
Well, it's kind of a long story.
3-second montage. We see the collider explosion. This time, Noir, Penny, and Ham streak out of the explosion. They land in New York. Match cut to them in the hideout.
Maybe not that long.
Interior Peter Parker's lab.
Okay, and now we're just trying to find a way home.
The only way home is back through the collider gizmo. The only trouble is...
Fucking Travis.
One of us has to stay behind and destroy it.
I'll do it.
I'll do
I'll
it.
do it.
No. You don't get it.
Don't get what?
They all glitch. Real ugly.
None of you can stay here. If you stay here, you'll die. I'm the guy who's going to turn it off, and I'm going to get you all home before I do. But I made a promise, so I have to keep it.
They all look at Miles. It's kind of inspiring, but
Who are you again?
Peter jumps in immediately in Music Man sales mode, talking Miles up.
This is Miles, and he's gonna save the multiverse.
Yeah, man.
This kid can turn invisible. Watch this. He's gonna do it now.
Miles struggles to turn invisible, but he can't.
I can't do it on command.
Can't do it on command, but it is cool. Show him the zappy thing, Miles.
Once again, Miles tries to show off his power, but he can't do it.
I can't do it on command.
He can't do that on command either, but he can do so much more. Like what else can you do?
Just those two things.
Just those two things.
Look, I've seen him in action. He's got potential. I think he's going to get us home.
She says it with conviction. Everyone wants to believe it. Noir steps forward to prove it out.
Okay, little fella. Kingpin's gonna send a lot of mugs after you. I'm talking hard boys, real biscuit boxers. Can you fight them off all at once?
Well, I haven't actually fought anyone.
Surprise attack!
Miles tries to fight Noir, but Noir knocks him down. Penny jumps in.
Can you rewire a mainframe while being shot at?
Can I what?
Show me!
Surprise attack!
Noir knocks him down again. Fast cuts now.
Can you swing and flip with the grace of a trained dancer?
Can you close off your feelings so you don't get crippled by the moral ambiguity of your violent actions?
Can you help your aunt create an online dating profile so she can get out of the dang house once in a goddamn while?
Can you float through the air while you smell a delicious pie?
What?
Can you be strong?
Ruthless.
Disciplined?
I don't know. Maybe.
Boing.
Show me some moxie, soldier.
Above all, no matter how many times you get hit, can you get back up?
Because when a Spider-Man is on the floor,
When you think you've given your all?
When you think you can't keep going,
Spider-Man always gets up.
Bam, bam, bam. Miles is knocked down repeatedly. He lies on the ground.
You can do this.
Get
up, Miles.
Up, Miles. Get up.
All right, guys, cool it.
Come on, Miles, get up.
The spiders watch Miles struggle on the floor. He can't get up. Concerned looks are exchanged. The spiders gather in a circle to talk, leaving Miles behind.
Peter, come here. You need to be more honest with yourself about this. He's not ready. It's obvious.
There's no way. He's just a kid.
But if he can't do this, we have to stay and do it for him.
He's looking right at us while we talk about him.
A beat. Then Peter looks to where Miles was and realizes the elevator is moving up.
Miles? Miles! See that? He can turn invisible.
Miles, invisible, rides the elevator. All the spiders see is the shed doors opening way up in the rafters. Exterior city streets, rooftops, night. Walking down the street, despondent. Miles lifts up his phone, checks his messages. We hear his parents' message.
Miles, what's going on with you? Nobody's heard from you. We don't know what's going on. Look, if you're hiding something from us, you need to come clean. I mean, call me back now.
Miles picks up speed. Exterior, Uncle Aaron's fire escape later. Miles climbs to the rooftop across from Aaron's apartment. As he does, we hear audio on a phone ringing, and then we see interior squad car.
Hey, he's not answering me either.
Jefferson is on the phone. Rio sits next to him. A click.
It's Aaron. I'm out of town for a few days. Hit me up when I'm back. Peace.
Aaron, it's Jeff. Look, I need you to call me if you've heard anything about Miles.
Exterior, Uncle Aaron's apartment. Miles is on the fire escape. He opens a window and climbs in, calling out for Uncle Aaron.
He has a soft spot for you, and you haven't heard from him. You know, I wouldn't reach out if it wasn't important. I hope you're good.
Cut to Jeff hanging up the phone, looking pensive. Rio looks at him. Interior, Uncle Aaron's apartment, continuous. Miles writes a note.
Dear Uncle Aaron, I gotta do something and I don't know if I can do it. I'm scared, man. I'm just tired of letting everybody down. You're the only one who I could talk to. I just wish you were here.
Miles stops writing when he hears a noise in the fire escape. Uncle Aaron? As the figure gets closer, the silhouette becomes clear. The Prowler. Terrified, Miles scrambling to hide. The Prowler enters but freezes. Something feels wrong. Remembering, Miles lowers his Spider-Man mask. Prowler's point of view. He looks to the sofa, then around the room again, as if sensing something. He pads quietly towards where Miles is hiding. Miles sits frozen, not daring to breathe. The Prowler's there, inches from Miles' invisible face. Prowler's phone rings, and he answers.
Hello, Mr. Fisk. I've got the security tapes from the tunnel right here. If the kid's out there, I'll find them.
Prowler lifts his mask, revealing himself as Aaron.
You know me, sir. I don't ever quit.
Miles's eyes go wide. He gasps and slowly backs away. Aaron's head snaps up at the sound. He looks around the room and puts his mask back on. Aaron sees the blur, following to the window. Exterior, Uncle Aaron's alley intercut. Miles, as Spider-Man, drops from the ladder, Prowler in pursuit, leaping from the fire escape. Exterior, Brooklyn streets. Miles runs, the Prowler in pursuit on his motorcycle. In the middle of traffic, Miles sees that he seems to have lost Prowler, but Prowler follows from the rooftops, watching where Miles goes. Interior, Peter Parker's lab. Penny and Spider finish making a new goober. Interior, Aunt May's house, living room. Noir lays on the couch, examining a Rubik's Cube. Penny hands Peter the new goober. He hangs it around his neck with a lanyard.
This is purple.
No.
Blue.
No.
Has anyone heard from Miles?
Look, he's just clearing his head. Look, I know the kid. He's got what it takes. I bet he's going to come back through that door recharged and ready to fight.
Gwen stares at Peter, not believing a word he's saying. Just then, Miles stumbles in, a wreck, heaving.
My uncle!
Hey, where have you been?
My Uncle Aaron! He's the Prowler!
Okay, slow down, Miles.
He works for Kingpin. He tried to kill me.
This is a pretty hardcore origin story.
Miles fights tears. The spiders look to Peter, who doesn't have the slightest idea of what to say.
It's okay. We're going to figure it out.
Were you followed?
No, I don't think so.
But they hear a rumbling, and then interior Aunt May's house, continuous. Ding dong. The bell rings, then crash! Doc Ock suddenly walks in through the door. A tentacle shoots out and knocks a tea tray out of Aunt May's hands. Cute place, real homey.
Oh, great. It's Liv.
I guess I was followed.
Oh no.
Get out of here, kid.
Miles turns to run through the kitchen, but is blocked by Tombstone.
Messed up big time, kid. Very sloppy.
Tombstone pushes past Miles and reveals Scorpion behind him.
Pero todas estas aranitas.
We see the English text on screen, along with, translated from Spanish. Peter and the spiders get into position.
Let me guess. You're Scorpion? We're the spider gang.
Would you mind taking this outside?
We don't pick the ballroom, we just dance.
Doc Ock sees the goober on Peter's person. Oh, I think I'll be taking that. Her tentacles reach out towards Peter and everyone leaps into action. It's a 10-person fight in a tiny queen's living room. Scorpion corners Miles, who defends himself with couch cushions.
Nenoto dale.
The man's stupid pillows.
The couch cushions are stuck to his hands and Scorpion attacks. Spider is there to save him as Miles gets unstuck from the cushions. Doc Ock smashes Peter to the ceiling. Aunt May swings her baseball bat at Tombstone and knocks him out the front door onto the street.
Said, take it outside.
The goober comes loose and Miles goes after it.
I got it.
Miles chases after the key but is thrown against the wall. Gwen webs it away from Doc Ock, but Scorpion knocks it out of her hand. Noir catches it but glitches, dropping it. Miles continues to chase after the key as it is kicked around the room. He finally grabs it when his spider sense goes off. Suddenly, the Prowler crashes in through the window, landing in front of Miles. Peter webs the goober out of Miles's hand.
I got this, buddy. Leave the kid alone.
Peter and Prowler fight and struggle for the goober.
No.
Peter kicks Prowler off himself and out through the wall into the street.
You gotta go, man.
Just then, Spider and Doc Ock slam into Peter, and all are knocked out the front door of the house into the street. Exterior Aunt May's street house, day. The battle is now on the rooftops and smashing out of the front windows, moving into the neighborhood. Interior police car, sirens in the air. Jefferson races through the streets.
All vehicles in the area. We have disturbance involving multiple spider people?
Yeah, I'm on my way.
Interior Aunt May's house. Miles gets up out of the rumble, the goober in his hand. The Prowler dives right at him, claws first. Miles dives out of the way. The Prowler instantly regroups and comes to Miles again, relentless. He swipes with his claws, narrowly missing Miles.
Give me that thing.
Miles races to the house, the Prowler in pursuit. They face off, the kitchen table between them.
Don't be stupid, kid. Hand it over now.
Prowler swipes down, destroying the table. Miles races up the stairs, Aaron close behind. He grabs Miles's leg, but Miles kicks him away, continuing upstairs to the whole spider blasted through the roof. Exterior Aunt May's house rooftop. Miles scrambles up through the hole onto the roof, but before he can swing away, Prowler lands in front of him. Miles is trapped.
Nowhere left to run.
A standoff. Miles pulls off his mask.
Miles?
Uncle Aaron.
Aaron takes off his mask as well.
Oh, no.
Miles' eyes well up.
Please, Uncle Aaron.
Kingpin calls Aaron from the car below, watching the standoff.
Prowler, what are you waiting for? Finish it.
A long beat. And then Aaron pulls down Miles's mask and backs away, his hands up. He smiles at Miles when, bang! Kingpin fires. Aaron's eyes go wide and he falls back. Kingpin has shot him. Kingpin aims at Miles, but Peter swings and knocks Kingpin down.
Get out of here.
Miles scoops up Aaron and swings away. Jefferson arrives to see two people swinging across the street. Exterior dark alley. Miles kneels over Aaron.
Miles.
Uncle Aaron, this is my fault.
Aaron takes Miles's hand, shakes his head no.
No, Miles. I'm sorry. I wanted you to look up to me. I let you down, man. I let you down.
You're the best of all of us, Miles. You're on your way. Just keep going. Just keep going.
With Miles at his side, he dies. Miles can't believe it.
Hands up, put your arms up now.
Miles stands, but doesn't turn around. Puts up his
Turn
arms.
around.
Miles instinctively camouflages. Jeff looks around, unable to see him.
Hey.
But as he advances, he sees who the dead man is.
Aaron? No.
Jeff touches his brother's face and recoils. On Miles' camouflage, seeing the grief hit his father. Jeff's face hardens. He turns on his shoulder radio.
All units. I want an APB on the new Spider-Man.
As Jefferson slumps, we push in on Miles, visible to us the way a heat signature is behind a jet engine, but we can clearly see he's devastated. Interior Visions Academy, Miles' dorm, evening. Miles is tearing through his room in an emotional teenage rage. He pushes all of his homework and books off his desk and his sketchbook falls open on the floor. The artwork he did with Aaron staring up at him. Miles picks it up and throws it out the window. The notebook flies back through the window like a boomerang. Miles catches it. Peter's head pops up into the window. He climbs up into the room, followed by the other spiders. Peter walks up to Miles and puts a hand on his shoulder.
Hey, bud. You okay?
Miles takes a deep breath, holding back tears.
We've all been there. For me, it was my Uncle Ben.
For me, it was my Uncle Benjamin.
For me, it was my father.
For me, it was my best friend.
Miles, the hardest thing about this job is you can't always save everybody.
Look, it was my fault. You wouldn't understand.
Miles, we're probably the only ones who do understand.
A jiggling at the door.
Oh, no.
It swings open, revealing Gank, entering with his headphones on, playing music. Gank crosses to the desk and we reveal the spider team plastered to the wall in back of him. Oblivious, Gank grabs the Spider Ham comic and starts to read, foot on his desk. He takes his headphones off and spins in his chair, now facing the Spider-Man, but with his comic blocking the view.
That way.
And the Spider-Man clump moves to the ceiling and onto the wall in back of him. Gank then crosses back.
All right.
And the Spider-Man clump shifts back to where it was. Gank sits, lifting up his comic and lowers the comic to see Spider-Ham. Spider-Ham grins.
Hey there.
Do animals talk in this dimension? Because I don't want to freak them out.
Gank faints to the ground, unconscious. Time cut. Miles puts Gank into bed. When Miles turns around, Gwen's climbing through the window. Only Peter remains in the room.
What's going on?
Bye, Miles.
Miles, I came to say goodbye.
We can say goodbye to the Collider.
You're not getting it. You're staying here.
I need to be there so you can all go home.
Miles picks up the goober off his desk.
They are going home. Miles, I'm the only one staying.
A long beat.
You're taking my place? If you stay here, you'll die.
I'm doing what needs to be done. I just wanted you to hear it from me.
What about MJ?
Not everything works out, kid. I need the goober. Please don't make me take it from you.
Peter steps forward. Miles furious.
That's not fair. You gotta tell them I can do this.
It wasn't their decision.
I gotta make Kingpin pay. You have to let me make him pay.
Miles, you're gonna get yourself killed.
But I'm ready, I promise.
Peter does a combo move, nearly knocking Miles to the ground. If Peter wasn't there to catch him, Miles hanging down, held up by Peter.
Then Venom strike me right now. Or turn invisible on command so you can get past me.
Miles tries to do what he's saying, but it only makes Peter seem even more right. Outside the window, the other spiders listen to their conversation.
Look, I know how much you want this, kid.
Poor little guy.
Back inside the dorm room, Peter puts Miles down.
but you don't have it yet.
Peter webs a desk chair under Miles, spins the chair, and webs him into a cocoon and takes the key.
I'm sorry.
Peter can't look at him.
When will I know I'm ready?
Peter webs his mouth.
You won't. It's a leap of faith. That's all it is, Miles. A leap of faith.
Peter jumps out of the window and swings away with the other spiders. Miles, tied securely to his desk chair, watches sadly from his window. Interior Visions Academy, Miles's dorm, night. Time passes. Miles stares ahead. Knock, knock, knock. He's jolted out of his self-pity by the knock at his door. Someone that can help him. Miles scooches down toward the door excitedly, inch by inch on the chair. Interior Visions dorm hallway, night. Jefferson is in the hallway in full uniform.
Miles. Miles, is your dad?
Jefferson sees a shadow moving under the door. It stops. Intercut between Miles and Jefferson. Miles, now a couple of feet from the door, freezes.
Please open the door.
Miles starts to slowly back away from the door, inch by inch.
Miles, I can see your shadow moving around.
Miles stops again.
Okay, I get it. You're still ignoring me. Look, can we talk for a second? Something happened.
Jefferson struggles with what to say.
Look, sometimes people drift apart, Miles, and I don't want that to happen to us, okay? Look, I don't always do what you need me to do or say what you need me to say, but I see this spark in you, man, and it's amazing. That's why I push you. But it's yours. Whatever you choose to do with it, you'll be great.
Miles's eyes are wide and soulful. He rests his head against the door. So close.
Look, call me when you can, okay? I love you. You don't have to say it back.
Jefferson still waits for an I love you back. When he doesn't get it, he taps on the door of farewell and walks down the hall. Miles closes his eyes and we sit with him for a beat. Miles's hands visibly relax and his venom strike starts to crackle to life in his hands. Using this memory is how he's learning to control his powers. Miles uses a mini venom strike to break free from the chair restraints. He can't believe it. Gank bolts up, dazed, but sees nothing. Reveal: Miles has turned invisible and is exiting the building. He's in control. Exterior Aunt May's backyard, night. Quick cuts, a hand opening the padlock. The lights in Peter's hideout flooding in to reveal Aunt May sitting in wait, sipping tea.
Took you long enough.
Exterior Brooklyn, Williamsburg Savings Bank, night. Clouds gather, total coincidence. Push in on a gargoyle near the building's very tippy top. We don't see anyone until lightning reveals a camouflaged Miles. With each strike, we flash to Miles's journey to get to the top of the building. Flash! Miles exits the subway. Flash! Miles approaches the Spider-Man suits at the Spidey hangout. Flash! Miles spray paints a suit.
No, I see this spark in you, and it's amazing. Whatever you choose to do, you'll be great.
Our family doesn't run from things.
You're the best of all of us, Miles. You're on your way. Just keep going.
When do I know I'm Spider-Man?
Back on Miles, moving closer and closer to the edge.
You won't. That's all it is, Miles. A leap of faith.
Miles walks to the edge of the roof, the wind buffeting, and leaps. The camera is upside down. Miles isn't falling through the frame. He's rising. Cut to Miles spray painting his new uniform, disinfecting his mask, putting baby powder on the joints. Back live, Miles is out of control, flailing. Miles shoots a web upward between his legs. The webbing sticks to a building. Miles snaps on web shooters as Aunt May watches.
Made them myself. They fit perfectly.
Miles begins to swing. He moves with purpose through New York, slides between taxis, across windows. He swings up on the top of the Brooklyn Bridge and catches his breath. In the distance, we see Fisk Tower. He's ready. Cover page, Spider-Man, Miles Morales. Exterior Brooklyn streets, night. The spiders exit a bus. We see the whoosh of spider people swinging up to the top crane like a SWAT team until looking down at the penthouse, staring at the skylights.
Kingpin has a private elevator entrance from his penthouse to the collider below.
Didn't count on having an audience.
Interior Kingpin's penthouse, entrance salon, night. Guests mill beneath the massive banners depicting Spider-Man and Peter Parker. The Peter Parker Memorial Fund.
You've gotta be kidding me.
Kingpin stands. Cops and guards surround him. He takes the dais, waves to the crowd.
Thank you. It's nice to be with you this evening to celebrate Spider-Man. He and I were very close. He was always a favorite of my son. Kids love Spider-Man, right? Still do.
What a pig.
I'm right here.
Hold on. Get a load of how the waiters are dressed. It's in poor taste, but...
Ingle and the waiters, they're dressed like tacky Spider-Men with bow ties.
It can't be that easy.
Interior Fisk penthouse. On our spider team, moving through the fundraiser, Noir carries a serving tray, while Peter and Gwen push a large cart which is made from a contorted, crawling spider.
It's that easy. And I just want to thank Mary Jane Parker for being here this evening. Our prayers are with you, Mrs. Parker.
As Kingpin mentions MJ, Peter spots her in a crowd. Uh-oh.
MJ.
Pay attention. It's not the same MJ, Peter.
A beat.
I'm sorry, I'll be right back.
No, Peter, come here. Trust me, I've been there. You gotta move on, buddy.
This will just take a sec. Let me just... Oh!
He turns his car toward MJ. He bumps into MJ. Hello.
Oh, wow.
I just wondered if we could have some more bread at table 12?
Yeah. I'm really sorry.
On Gwen, horrified. Oh, don't be sorry. It's just bread.
No. I wasn't there for you when you needed me.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even try.
That's fine. I should really get going.
And I know I could do better if I just had another chance to give you the bread that you deserve.
Are you okay?
Ma'am, we'll take care of that bread right now.
It's been nice talking to you.
For you, they should fill this place up with fresh bread.
Gwen ushers Peter toward the kitchen.
You all right, man?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, good, because we are not getting any bread.
The tables start to wobble. People look down at their drinks, which now have ripples a la Jurassic Park.
I'm just sorry my family can't see what we're doing tonight.
Interior Collider control room. Doc Ock is hard at work on a computer, preparing the collider. She hits a button.
Initializing primary ignition sequence.
Interior Fisk Tower. Wilson Fisk walks with a purpose down a hallway. He walks past two guards and disappears into his office. As he passes, the guards are webbed. Reveal the spiders on the ceiling. Spider-Man Noir webs their eyes.
Sleep.
Interior Fisk's office. Noir shoots a panel in the elevator, allowing them to swing down the elevator shaft. Interior observation room. Kingpin enters the tombstone and sees a waiting Doc Ock.
Start the sequence.
Doc Ock nods, and a scientist takes a piece of hair from Vanessa's brush to use as a DNA sample.
Uploading Vanessa Fisk and Richard Fisk DNA sequence. Beginning scan for dimensional matches.
Doc Ock fires the collider, a computer monitoring and calling the collider status.
Secondary ignition in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The collider fires just as interior collider room. The spiders arrive. They make their way to the top of the thundering collider, moving like a military unit. Exterior Brooklyn streets. Dimensional quaking occurs, worse than before. People panicking. The Brooklyn Bridge flickers. Pedestrians scream. Jefferson helps a civilian and sees Fisk Tower flicker in the distance. Interior collider room. They crest the hill and stare at the beam in the beginning of the dimensional collapse. On Gwen and Peter. Peter is nervous. So is Gwen.
Peter, you don't have to stay behind. I can do it.
It's okay. I've made up my mind.
They all swing out to the ceiling of the collider room.
I'll put the goober in and take over the beam. After you're gone, I'll blow it up.
He starts to crawl toward the panel.
Good luck, guys.
Peter reaches the panel. Peter is about to put the override key into the panel when the spiders get spider sense.
They know we're here.
Doc Ock slowly emerges out of the ceiling, real creepy-like. Nice to see you again, Peter. Doc Ock slams Peter into the ceiling of the collider room. The spiders rush to help Peter, but are attacked by Kingpin's thugs. Interior collider room. Note, from here we're watching an increasingly psychedelic depiction of dimensions colliding, and the Spideys have to do their job as it happens. They battle, the spiders fending off bad guys while glitching, and the camera rovers, the spiders interact. Noir glitches and is caught under fire. Penny comes to save him.
I've got you covered.
Gwen comes flying in, sliding down a gantry crane. She sees Scorpion coming towards her.
These guys are the pits.
Penny and Spider jump in to fight Scorpion. On the ceiling, Peter struggles against Ock. He tries to reinsert the goober as he puts it in the wrong way.
Oh, why is this always so difficult?
Doc Ock drags him away from the panel. Where are you going, Peter? As she pulls Peter in. Any last words?
Can I get a minute to think about it? Do you have a pen?
Goodbye, Peter Parker. Suddenly, one of her tentacles punches her in the face. Peter reacts to Doc Ock punching herself. Who did that? She looks around, reveals Miles turning visible as he flies towards Doc Ock. Spider-Man? He shoots webbing, knocking her back as she releases her hold on Peter. Miles catches him and they both land on the ceiling.
Well, Miles, you're doing it on command.
About time, right?
Multi-panel. The spiders react to seeing Miles again.
Damn it, Travis.
Hey, look who's here.
Miles!
You figured it out.
I love you. I'm so proud of you. Do I want kids?
Doc Ock breaks free of her restraints and charges them.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about her.
As they fight, they all notice a box raising up toward the beam.
Oh, well, that doesn't look promising.
No, it doesn't.
Inside the observation room, Vanessa and Richard start to flicker into existence as Kingpin watches from the observation room.
I've got genetic matches. Hold on, it's too risky.
Shut up and turn it up.
Interior collider room. The spiders all battle bad guys as the room descends into more chaos.
On your left, on your right. I got 5 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 2 o'clock. Every direction.
On your right. On your right.
Camera flies back up through the building to the ballroom. People are panicking. Jefferson is running against the tide on his phone.
Get to a shelter. I'll be right there.
Inside a hospital, furniture multiplies. The occupants panicking. Rio is on the phone with Jefferson.
Vamos, senor. I tried the school, but I can't get through.
Outside on the street, the Visions Bridge quakes. Cars split into multiple versions of themselves. People run, screaming. Back in the collider room, cluster buildings burst through the portal. The spiders continue to battle as things get crazy. On Miles, Peter, Gwen, and Ock.
Guys, are you seeing this?
Peter, Miles, and Gwen meet up on top of one of the collider guns. They look out over the chaos that is happening inside the room.
Looks like our dimensions are coming to us.
It does look cool, though, right?
We gotta get back up there. Shouldn't be Too hard.
Their spider senses go off. They turn around just as Ock throws a bus at them. Noir and Tombstone had a hand-to-hand fight.
Is that all you got? You gonna fight or just bumping gums, you hard-boiled turtle slapper?
Noir pulls a car on top of Tombstone. It explodes. Comic book burst guard. Scorpion has Spider pinned down. Penny struggles to break free, but Scorpion starts to destroy Spider, pulling off and destroying the robot's limbs. As Scorpion goes to attack Penny again, an anvil slams onto Scorpion's head, reveal that Ham has dropped it on him.
What are you, some kind of silly cartoon?
You got a problem with cartoons?
Scorpion and Ham fight hand-to-hand combat. Ham is freaking insane at fighting. Ham knocks Scorpion down, and before he can get up, Noir grabs his tail and swings him around. As he lets go and Scorpion flies toward Penny, she grabs one of Spider's detached arms and smashes Scorpion with it. He's out.
Oh, did that feel like a cartoon?
On Miles, Peter, Gwen, and Ock. Gwen and Miles fight Doc Ock, tag teaming. Gwen is impressed by Miles. Suddenly, one of Ock's tentacles hits Gwen hard, and she falls back toward the beam.
Gwen!
Miles flies after Gwen, barely grabbing her. No, refer to Gwen falls panels. He swings back up, recovering Gwen.
I like your suit.
Thanks, I made it myself.
Miles shoots a web strand back at Peter. Peter grabs the web strand and pulls it, giving Gwen super speed.
Oh, that was adorable, team. Now hold on tight.
Gwen flies in. They all hit her. 1, 2, 3. Ock flies back from the impact and smashes into the building. Furious, she races back toward them.
Buckle up, guys. This is going to take a while.
Doc Ock is hit by a rogue 18-wheeler.
All right, never mind. Let's end this thing.
Miles takes control. He's the quarterback now.
Guys, I got it.
I'll go. I'm the one with the goop.
Miles holds up the goober.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Don't watch the mouth, watch the hands.
He shoots a web and swings off through the chaos into the collider room.
Miles!
Be careful.
On Miles as he heads on the panel, doing his own version of Blonde Peter's swing, crawl, flip to the panel.
That was crazy.
Back on Peter and Gwen.
We taught him that, right?
I didn't teach him that, and you definitely didn't.
Peter and Gwen swing off to join Miles. On Penny, Noir, and Ham. As Spider sparks and dies, Penny takes out her spider. She turns to look up at the destroyed robot, tears in her eyes. Noir steps up, puts his hand on her shoulder.
Okay, come on.
She jumps on Noir's back, and with Ham, they swing away to join Miles at the panel. On Miles at the panel. Inside is a mess of wires and equipment. Rip. R.I. Peter saw. Miles inserts the goober.
Guys, I got control of the beam. Get up here.
Alert. Quantum polarity has been reversed.
In observation room, Kingpin looks up and sees Miles at the panel and the other spiders join him. Kingpin, enraged, slams down on the control panel in front of him, smashing the windows to the observation room. In the collider room, the room shakes. Interdimensional quakes rocking the collider room and all of Brooklyn. The spiders converge on the panel.
Guess this is it.
Well, nice to know we're not alone, right?
Yeah.
They all look around at each other. They want to go home, but part of them wants to stay. Miles punches a code into the keypad and twists the goober.
I got the portal open. You first, Penny.
She smiles.
Thank you, Miles. From both of us.
Penny jumps into the beam. Miles punches in another code and looks at Noir.
I love you all. I'm taking this cube thing with me. I don't understand it, but I will.
Noir lets go and disappears. Spider Ham holds up a huge mallet. He's near tears.
I want you to have this. It'll fit in your pocket.
Miles takes it.
That's all, folks.
Ham jumps.
Is he allowed to say that? Like legally?
Miles turns to Gwen, a beat. Awkward. Just like the classroom. But
Do I get to like the hairdo now?
Gwen laughs.
You know I'm older than you. 15 months, but it's pretty significant if you ask me.
Well, Einstein said time was relative, right?
Nice.
She turns away, uncomfortable with the moment. Miles holds out his hand.
Friends?
A long beat. Gwen grabs his hand and holds it.
Friends.
Cool.
See you around, Spider-Man.
She elegantly leaps into the beam. Miles turns to Peter.
Your turn.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Peter looks down and hesitates. He's scared to go. They're both hit with a surge of spider sense. Miles and Peter look down to see Kingpin has left the observation room and is now leapfrogging his way across the buildings toward them.
You're not going anywhere.
Peter assesses the situation.
I'll hold him off. You shut this down.
Peter jumps away from the panel, going towards Kingpin. Miles is surprised.
Peter, that wasn't a deal.
Push the green button. Do not wait for me.
But Peter is leaping away already, swinging, when Webb stops him and yanks him back too. Miles on the other end of the web.
What are you doing?
Peter, you gotta go home.
Kill you. I can't let Spider-Man die.
Neither can I. Yeah, it is okay.
Miles drops to kick Peter and holds him suspended over the portal. It looks exactly like when Peter challenged Miles in his dorm room before tying him up.
Gotta go home, man.
How do I know I'm not going to mess it up again?
You won't.
Right. It's a leap of faith.
Peter takes his hand off Miles's hand, readying himself. Miles drops Peter into the portal. Peter smiles as he disappears into the portal.
Not bad, kid.
Miles pulls his mask back down and turns to face the approaching Kingpin. They face off.
Kingpin!
Kingpin smashes the building, causing a ripple of glass to fly towards Miles. Miles backflips out of the way. Kingpin pulls out a gun and Miles webs it away.
Nope, sorry, that's cheating.
He starts to advance when a subway train suddenly speeds by, heading towards the panel. Miles shoots a web at the train and hitches a ride.
Adios.
Exterior subway train. Miles lands on the side of the train and looks around to locate the panel.
Gotta get to that button.
Just then, the window on the train breaks and a pair of hands pulls Miles in. It's Kingpin. Interior subway train from another dimension. It continues to toggle between other dimensions. It feels like a subway car maze. Miles flickers in and out invisibility, and he evades Kingpin's punches. But Kingpin predicts Miles's next stop and lands a hit. Miles tries a venom strike, but it fizzles out.
Oh no.
Not so easy doing it on your own, is it?
Kingpin grabs Miles around the neck and slams him against the wall.
I can't wait to kill one more Spider-Man.
An enraged Kingpin is about to deliver the death blow to Miles, just like he did to R.I. Peter when Vanessa and Richard appear and they don't recognize Kingpin. Multiple Vanessa and Richards now glitch in and out.
What are you doing? Where am I?
What?
Wilson?
This is what you want, man.
What are you doing? Stay away from us!
Vanessa, Richard.
I don't know Richard.
Vanessa, it's me. You know me.
We're leaving now.
Vanessa and Richard are frightened. They don't recognize Kingpin. They see him about to kill Spider-Man and they run through the door behind them.
Don't go. Stay with me, please.
Kingpin reacts and rushes after them, dropping Miles. He enters the train car and finds it empty. His family has gone back into the multiverse. Exterior subway train. Miles climbs out of one of the windows and onto the side of the speeding train. He looks around and locates the panel. He's about to web away when Kingpin bursts to the side of the train and lands in front of Miles. He's lost everything, but he's not losing the fight.
You're not stopping this. Not today.
I am stopping this right now.
In the observation room, Jefferson walks in and examines the control room. It's trashed and as a result of the interdimensional event going on. He looks out at the front of the room and witnesses the chaos taking place in the collider room. The train cars whizzes by and Kingpin and Miles fighting on top of it in clear view of Jefferson.
I need backup.
He only hears static. In the collider room, Kingpin and Miles fight. Kingpin with renewed fury. Kingpin throws Miles off the train, and they continue fighting as they fall, drowning in the sinus squat's Kirby psychedelia. Kingpin and Miles crash into the Brooklyn Bridge. A dazed Miles shakes off the collision on the bridge, his mask off. He staggers to his feet. Kingpin is already standing, unsteady, but still dangerous. Kingpin and Miles square off, two exhausted boxers. Kingpin suddenly reaches out. He brutally shoves Miles to the ground. Miles rolls away and tries to get up. He's hurt. He looks up and sees Kingpin coming after him again. Kingpin grabs Miles by the head and slings him against a pile of debris. Miles smashes to the ground, tries to get up, and slips.
The real Spider-Man couldn't even beat me. You're nothing.
Kingpin is out of breath, but he is enjoying beating the hell out of Miles. Miles keeps getting up, and Kingpin keeps knocking him down. Miles keeps getting back up. He's exhausted.
You took my family, and now I'm gonna make sure you never see yours again.
Kingpin knocks Miles down again and approaches to finish him off. Just then, a voice is heard in the distance.
Get up, Spider-Man.
Miles' eyes flicker open at the sound. He looks to the control room where he sees someone moving around. It's his dad.
Man, get up. Come on, come on.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
It takes him a few wobbly seconds, but Miles staggers to his feet and faces Kingpin.
I'll always have my family. You ever hear of the shoulder touch?
What?
Miles drops a hand toward Kingpin's shoulder.
Hey.
As he touches Kingpin on the shoulder, he delivers a gigantic venom strike. Kazap! Kingpin flies back from the force of the venom blast. Miles webs him and swings Kingpin into the panel.
Hey, Kingpin, push a green button for me.
Kingpin flies into the panel, a direct hit, making the venom blast extend to the entire collider room. The beam starts to suck everything back in. Miles webs himself to the ceiling and holds on in the chaos and as the chaos reaches a fever pitch. The beam retreats back into the collider guns, causing a massive implosion. In the control room, Jefferson is blown back by the force of the implosion. The collider shuts off. The shaking stops. Miles hangs from the ceiling. He did it. Some coughing catches his attention. From the debris of the observation room, he sees Jefferson stand up, coughing and shaking dust off. Jefferson looks up and sees a spiderweb dangling, but now Miles is gone. Exterior Fisk Mansion night. Jefferson leads a handcuffed Tombstone into a cop car. As the car drives off, his phone rings. He looks at it. It's Miles. He answers.
Miles? Miles, you okay?
Angle and Miles as Spider-Man, perched on the corner of a building overlooking the scene outside Fisk Tower.
Yeah, I'm okay. You're probably busy, so...
He's definitely busy, but doesn't care.
No. I can talk. Look, I came by earlier. Your uncle.
I know, Dad. I'm sorry.
A wave of emotion hits Miles.
Yeah.
Do you know who did it?
I thought I did. But I was wrong. Look, Miles, what I said at the door, it wasn't just talk. Look, I was thinking maybe we could find a nice wall privately owned.
Okay, Dad. All right.
Like at the police station, you could throw up some of your art. Man. Okay, Miles, you there? On C Mobile.
Miles appears right next to Jefferson with a pop.
Officer?
Spider-Man, aka Miles, right behind him.
Spider-Man? Listen, down there, that was, I owe you.
Jefferson is startled when Spider-Man hugs him. He awkwardly pats him on the back. They break it up.
I look forward to working with you.
Yeah, me too, I guess. You know, I don't approve of your methods, but we're just gonna have to agree to disagree.
Thank you for your bravery tonight. Love you.
Spider-Man walks away.
Wait, what?
Miles walks off, shoots a web, swings away.
And look behind you.
Jefferson turns and sees that Kingpin has been strung up by webs from 2 buildings, and there's a note that reads, "From your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man." Miles walks down the street, high-fiving people. Everyone is so excited to see him.
All right, cool, yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm Spider-Man. That's so versio.
Yeah, you the spider.
What's up, little man? Oh yeah, I'm the new Spider-Man. Check it out. Whoa! That was part of the move.
Exterior Brooklyn streets, on Miles swinging through the city.
Okay, let's do this one last time. Yeah? For real this time. This is it.
We see the opening badass shots of Spider-Man, but this time with Miles.
My name is Miles Morales. I was bitten by a radioactive spider, and for like 2 days, I've been the one and only Spider-Man. I think you know the rest. I finished my essay, saved a bunch of people.
We see him do homework, swing in front of adoring crowds, get hit by a drone.
Got hit by a drone. Did this with my dad.
Miles paints a tribute to Uncle Aaron with Jefferson.
Met my roommate finally.
Miles, upside down, fist bumps Gank. Gank is stunned. Miles slaps a sticker on a gargoyle at the top of the building.
Slap a sticker. My dad's never going to find it.
Ham, Penny, Noir, Gwen are in their homes, ready for a fresh start.
And when I feel alone, like no one understands what I'm going through, I remember my friends who get it.
Gwen looks at a picture of her and Miles. Peter, holding flowers, rings the doorbell to MJ's apartment. Miles swings, flips, and runs to the city. He webs a train as leverage to catapult himself through the air. He looks great. It's beautiful and so specific to Miles.
I never thought I'd be able to do any of this stuff, but I can. Anyone can wear the mask. You can wear the mask. If you didn't know that before, I hope you do now.
Interior dorm room continues. Miles climbs in the top bunk, turning out the light, put on his headphones.
Because I'm Spider-Man. And I'm not the only one. Not by a long shot.
He closes his eyes, starts singing along to Sunflower, but his eyes snap open to a bright light suddenly shines down on him. A portal begins to open up above him.
Miles. Miles. Miles! You got a minute?
Cut to black. From black, interior secret facility day. A massive lab space, so bleeding edge that it looks alien. Holographic images of the Collider's final moments, twisted flowering cityscapes, giant floating pencils, spider ham, etc. hover above the dozens of workstations filling the room. We also get a glimpse of headshots of Miles, Peter, Penny, and Gwen. A hologram woman, Lyla, stands in the center of the lab, flickering from one screen to the next. You're a bit late.
We can't be all everywhere at once.
A little text might have been nice.
I was gone for less than 2 hours. What happened?
Okay. I know what it looks like, but here's the good news.
Oh, here we go.
The multiverse didn't collapse.
Oh, cool.
A little touch and go, but it worked out.
Great story. Did you finish the goober?
It's not a goober, it's a gizmo.
Do you always have to call me out? It's just really frustrating and it bums me out.
She gestures to a crazy watch floating above a pedestal. Don't get too excited, Miguel. It's just a prototype.
Not excited.
The gizmo attaches itself to a suited figure's arms.
Okay. Wow.
You could be the first person to make an autonomous multiverse jump. Or the last. The suited character stands stock still for a moment and considering the watch. We begin to pan around him.
Okay, so we're just gonna roll the dice on this.
So what do you say, pal? Where do you want to go first? Finally revealing a deep blue mask, no eye holes, red, dagger-like lens frames.
Let's start at the beginning. One last time. Or it's 67.
A trippy matte painting from a Ralph Bakshi directed 1968 episode from season 2 of the old animated Spider-Man animated TV show. Two shot. Miguel jumps into frame with the famous 67 animated meme Spider-Man.
Whoa, what the?
I'm Spider-Man. You need to come with me.
Who the heck are you?
I just told you that. Listen, I'm from the future.
How dare you point at me?
You were pointing first.
It's rude to point.
You're being very rude. You're not even going to believe what I'm saying. You're saying what I'm not going to say I am.
Police officer and J. Jonah Jameson are standing nearby.
Which one pointed first?
Spider-Man pointed first, obviously.
And we go out in pure chaos, the most expensive dumb joke of all time.
You're pointing at me.
I'm not pointing at you. You're pointing.
When you say that,
pointing
look
out. You're
at you.
pointing.
Look at your finger.
Pointing.
Look at your finger right now.
Seen pointing.
You know what you're doing?
You're
pointing.
You'll know.
You're pointing. You're accusing me of pointing while you're pointing.
The end. Title card from the 1967 Bakshi cartoon. Black.
And of course, gotta love going out on the silliest joke in movie history. Thank y'all very much for watching. We'll see you at the next one.